light of my soul, river of mercy, making me whole. In the morning I call your name, in the evening I sing the same. But Yeshua, Yeshua, Satya Prabhu, true Lord. But Yeshua, Yeshua, Prem Kedhu, sunlight of love, lotus of heaven, bloom in my heart, tear down the shadows, pull me apart. Hands of healing, gentle and kind, peace of the Spirit, renewing my mind. By Yeshua, Yeshua, Shanti Daya, giver of peace. By Yeshua, Yeshua, Jivan ka mangal, blessing of life, dance of the stars, song of the earth. Through you I found my rebirth, glory eternal, shining above, anchor of truth, river of love. Yeshua Bhajan.
Oh Yeshua, light of my soul, river of mercy, making me whole. Morning star rising, shining so bright, guide of my footsteps, fire in the night.
Yeshua, Yeshua, Satya Prabhu, true Lord. Yeshua, Yeshua, Prem Kedhu, sun of love. Yeshua, Yeshua, Shanti Daya, Yeshua, Yeshua, Jivan ka mangal.
You walk on the waters, calm every storm. Your love is eternal, tender and warm.
Chains fall away at the sound of your voice. Heaven and earth in your name rejoice. Lotus of heaven, still you are near. Your whisper of comfort dries every tear.
Your cross is my shelter, your blood is my peace, your mercy forever
You know, in all honesty, that's got me dead. Reading the comments while that intro was going was hilarious. Hilarious. I'm not going to lie. I was reading it while I was in the other room, and I was just dying. Every part of me, every single part of me wanted to go get a full suit and a glass of fine wine and just come and see and be like, I had one debate with some actual professional philosophers. But you're not wrong when you say that. Oh, John had one debate. Now look, it's like, you're kind of right. I had that debate and I was thinking about it. I'm like, bro, that intro ain't going to cut it for those debates anymore. I mean, it works for what I do because I'm like some low level pleb that just yells at idiots at the street. I'm like the guy with the sign that says turn or burn, screaming at the streets, turn to Jesus, turn to Jesus. No, I drank out of my moonshine jar already. I already finished it. That's the only reason I don't have the moonshine jar. But yes, Clanky, fancy glass. Ah, yes. We're sophisticated up in here. We're sophisticated. But bro, can you tell me? Like, look, like let's just look at it again. Ready? Like, tell me this isn't amazing, bro.
Oh, Yeshua.
Let's go. This gets me hyped. That gets me more hyped. That gets me more hyped than whatever we had going on before. Bro, it's called pop. Yeah, it is called pop. It is called pop. We had 50-50 on from a professional philosopher saying that. Also, if you guys didn't see it, make sure you did go watch it. The professional philosopher debate that we had going on yesterday. And as you can see, I forgot to turn on a lamp. Hold on, let's see if I can reach it without taking my headphones off. Yeah, there we go. See, we're not that professional yet. We're not. See, every day is just a little bit better. A little bit better. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Right, I just re-uploaded it on my video. And what was I gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Guys, smash the like button, share live, do the things you need to do. We have no Abby today. That's what I was gonna say. Look, the desk is empty. No one to take timestamps. So there'll be no timestamps on this video. Nothing we can do about it. I cannot do all this plus keep track of timestamps. That is too much work. Too much work for me. See, we'll never ever hit professionalism in this stream. That's a guarantee. That was not supposed to be in frame. It is what it is. John went professional and fired Abby. If I was going to go more professional, I'd hire more Abbies. And then we'd actually get some stuff done. That's what would actually happen. We actually get some stuff done. But we're not too professional. John, you cannot replace Abby. I'm sorry, Than. You can't do it. As handsome as you are, as good looking you are with your shirt off, you cannot replace my wife. I mean, I'm tempted, but that's because I'm a sinful man. But she's one of a kind. One of a kind. Anyways, we're not so up there yet that we can't do. That was embarrassing. Let's try again. Still nothing. Hold on. There we go. It's because I hit the wrong button. Now we go. There we go. I was just rocking up on this. You guys are like, what the hell is this guy doing? What the hell is this guy doing? I'm falling apart without Abby. Although, Thin, are you saying you're willing to co-host? Is that what you were saying? Hold on. Text me. Text me, baby girl.
Give me an argument, not an assertion. I'm almost convinced that you're not a real person.
I can send you the link.
What do you gish? Topic to topic, you flop like
We could link up.
Say what you're meaning while being concise. Still got my taco, I ain't
We could link up.
Linda, just listen, get wrecked by a Christian. I think you might have a special
3 professional philosophers in 1 week.
Witches and wizards and new ages. I roll with Jesus, you still get defeated. You won't change my mind even if you repeat it. Just keep it real. Big John Still. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the time cold. Just keep it real. Big John Still. Tell me how you feel.
She's at work today. She took a day of work because she's trying to save up, some money to get her some new countertops. So she went and did a little extra work because life keeps happening and we keep getting set back to get those countertops. So how dare she go to work? Oh, she took a work day. Ben better be shirtless if he's gonna do it.
Bro, I don't play, I can make them retreat. You choose a deceit, ain't making me nervous. For those that I reach, I've been living my purpose. This ain't at all about the money. Trying to lift up the soul of his gum is real.
Smash the like button, guys. Share the live. Smash and share.
Just keep it real. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the top goes. Jesus is king. Big John Still. Jesus is king. Big John.
Countertops over Christ is crazy. She doesn't do anything but take timestamps. That's all she does. I mean, she does get spicy. She actually does a lot more than that. But I'm saying, like, the message will get delivered nonetheless. Nonetheless. And she deserves nice things. She's the most integral part of the show. I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna argue that. She reminds me of Super Chats. That's true too. That's also true. And Bert. Than, are you trying to link or what?
Jesus is king.
You leaving me on red. I could see you in the chat.
Jesus is king.
And you're leaving me on red.
Jesus is king.
Can she fire me? No. Abby's the brains, John is the pretty face. Are you saying my wife isn't pretty? Is that what you're trying to say? That's pretty messed up.
Tell me how you feel.
That's pretty messed up. That's a crazy thing to say. Oof. Stan is nervous. Stan is running.
Jesus is king.
Doesn't all the money go to Abby? Yes, that's true.
Jesus is king. John Still.
Abby's clearly both. John is the bodyguard. Yeah, wow, Gabe. Wow, Gabe. Wow.
Jesus is king.
I was asking Than if you were trying to link. If that's what you were saying. You're saying you could replace Abby. So my question is, are you trying to link? Should I send you the link? Is that what's happening today? You trying to link up? Like, you up kind of thing? Debate date? Debate date. Debate date, Than. Debate date. He never answers me. LOL, you up, bro? You up? All right, guys, today's topic, I've already decided. We're not going to do no vote today. Today's topic is... There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. We're also keeping the dono bar up for 300. That's how much we need to, that's the bare minimum to keep this channel going. If we make 300 each live plus about 100 each raid or promo or whatever, we'll keep the channel running. Again, that's a bare minimum. But yeah, that is there. That is there. How original? What's original? What is original? What are you talking about? Anyways, guys, smash the like button, share the live. I forgot to do a little quick prayer. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings that you give in. Thank you for all that you provide. Walk with us this day. Be present with us. Give us the sword if we need it, but also give us patience if we need it. Give us the right conversations and help us strike down our enemies. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Daniel Clark, for the 5 Big John Steele memberships. And Abby, open the floodgates. Wait, that's me. I'm Abby. I'm Abby. I'll open the floodgates. Just saw my tag. Boo, Than. Everyone else for Than in the chat. L's 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 for Than.
Hey,
Hey, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
35.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I mean, the churches wouldn't even give a woman baby milk. Why should I even become Christian, bro? And you know what it was? The Muslims decided to give baby milk to the woman, even though it was an experiment.
Okay. How does that
I
prove
think
it right?
it's standards. What do you guys do with the money?
How does that prove Islam right?
I mean, it looks like we kinda. It looks like we more generous than you.
Okay. How does that make you correct?
It actually looks like we would give a woman baby milk who wasn't even Muslim, who was probably Christian. Let's just say it was an experiment. And you guys denied her baby milk?
Right. So I've already conceded that like 3 times. So how does that make that correct?
What did you concede?
That's what happened. So how does that make you guys the correct religion?
Because we're more giving. We're
So-
more generous.
So if you're more
We don't
generous,
hide
so
stuff.
hold on. If you're more generous, that makes you more correct.
Yes.
Okay, so if you and I compare how much we've given over the last 5 years, and I end up giving, and it turns out I've ended up giving more than you, everything I say against you will be correct.
So I guess no, you guys are the fake ones. We the
No,
real
no, no,
ones.
no. Answer the question.
That's what I'm just trying to say.
Answer the question.
What
Don't
was
run.
the question?
See, Muslims never listen. Very generous, very bad at listening. So if I give, like if we sit down and we compare notes and we go through our records for the last 5 years, and it turns out I gave more than you, right, in charity, will that automatically make me more correct than you in this debate?
Did we have the same amount of money?
That's that's not what I asked. Answer the question.
But doesn't matter. No, what you mean? You got to be fair. Did we
You
have
said
the
you
same
said that
amount
the
of
more
money?
generous people are more correct.
You're not a smart guy.
That's
So
what
did
you
we
said.
have
That
it-
was your
did we
criteria. You said
have-
the more
do
generous
we
people
have
are
this-
more correct.
Do we have the same amount of money?
Let's say per capita, percentage wise.
No, not percentage wise. Just the same amount of money.
No. Percentage wise would be the same amount. We're giving the same amount. So, like for example,
Okay,
if I
so-
made $100 and I gave $10, right? But you made $50 and gave $5, it'd be the same percentage wise, right?
No, I'm saying if we have the same amount of money saved.
Do you know?
you
Do you not
gave
know basic
more.
mathematics?
Oh my God, bro! I'm not doing the percentage. I'm saying
Is
if
it?
we had
Are
the
you not
same
doing
amount of
percentage?
money-
Are you not doing percentage because you don't know basic mathematics?
See, now this is you're just trying to like switch the convo now.
I'm not switching the combo. I'm just asking a specific question. Do you not? If you don't know basic mathematics, that's fine. We can do a different
It's
method.
not basic math. I'm just asking you a basic
But is
question.
that
Do
the
we
reason
have the
that
same
you
amount of
is
money?
that the reason you don't want to do percentages is because
Listen,
you don't understand percentages?
Bro, talk to your priest. Tell him don't spend it on money and Bentleys, and give people baby milk when they need it.
Okay, I will. Now
Listen.
answer my question. If we both
All right,
gave
but when you go to-
if we measure the amounts that we gave throughout the last 5 years and it turns out I gave more than you and let's say we made the exact same amount of money, would I be more correct than you in this debate? He left the app. Why'd you leave the app, bro? I can't hear you when you're out of the app. Are you running? Did you think that you left and you didn't actually leave? Or are you Googling what a percentage is? He left. He left. He's gone. He kind of took off. I don't know if I put the links in. Hold on. I don't think I put the links in to join the thing. I didn't. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. That's Abby's job. That's something Abby does that I In and boom. Okay. Got it. Got it. John, you, me, and Nick on my channel next week. Mike will be out. What are we doing? Is that cauliflower on my right ear? This one? Or, well, I got it on both ears. This one's my worst one. Like, you can see it more on this one for sure. This one is not so bad. This one's just got a little, like you can see it right there, a little bump. Muslim call-in stream? I'm so down. Let's go. Let's do it. Daddy's out of the house. The children will play. Did you already contact Nick? Guys, smash the like button, share the live, do the things you need to do. Do I wrestle in school? I wrestle now. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? I can't hear you. Yeah, I only stand a little bit of sign language. But what was that last one again? What does that mean? Oh, he left. This is the best they got, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best they got. This is the best they can do. All right, guys, smash the like button, share the live, get it out to the people we need to get out to. We got nobody in the queue right now. Nobody in the queue. So let's have a quick look here. We got what? 6,000 likes. That's amateur hour. We need about 20,000. These numbers are too damn low. They're too damn low. They're sending the mutes now to they're sending the mutes to attack me. You're not wrong. We get to see Than brain melt some more. Yeah, he does brain melt on those lives. He does. He like completely crashes out. He can't handle it. He cannot handle. See, Than's too smart to handle these types of conversations. That's the issue. He's got too many brain cells, and then when it's like 300 people trying to have a conversation with one person doesn't work, right? He's got 300 brain cells. They got one. Mute, but still he did make a better argument than the last guy. You're not wrong. It's really, yeah, it's humbling to see Than come down to our level. I need to get a better chair, man. Gotta sit more upright. That's a future John thing. Yeah, because Christianity is the only right religion and is so loving. Even if we weren't loving, according to your standard, why would we be wrong? Queue is open. I think we have a guest. Corden, I think it is. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 31.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm actually... So you can hear me all right? I'm talking through my phone.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. First of all, I've never done this before, so you basically just were shown to me in my YouTube.
Great. I'm happy to be your first and pop your cherry.
Yeah, thank you so much. The second thing I'd like to say is English is not my native language. I'm actually from Germany.
Yep.
So I apologize in advance if I have to explain something a bit more, take longer to explain what I meant. But yeah, I'm a Muslim, and I believe it's actually really reasonable to be a Muslim, and I'm happy to clarify why it's not unreasonable, or at least much more reasonable than atheism or Christianity.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, why it's good to be a Muslim is because Muslim is a really general, basic religion, which basically just tries to convince you why you should believe in God. It doesn't have any confusing concepts like Christianity, Lord Trinity, just simple obey God, obey his prophets, the same message.
We lost you. Hello? Bruh. Bruh. Hello. Hello. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Great argument.
Oh, give me 1 sec. My YouTube started playing at the.
Okay.
Okay. First off, by the way,
Hold on. Just real quick. How old are you?
Oh, 25.
All right, man. No good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
Well, first off, your noise gate is too low. Just by the way, you can hear like a lot of like mouth sounds that you want to avoid when you're on live, so I'd turn that up if I were you. But also, I mean, I'm agnostic, but seems like if you were raised in Islam and you earnestly believe it, that seems like as good enough a reason to be Christian, Jewish, Hindu.
Okay, so good here as I'm talking about like a rational perspective. So it needs a knowledge, a belief, and a justification. So obviously,
I mean, if we're talking about rational,
so hold on, Linda. I let you speak. You let me
quickly.
speak. All right, good. All right. So in that case,
I finished my sentence.
So hold on. You need to relax. Take a breath. All right. We're just having a conversation. Just you and me, two old chums, having a little chit chat. You speak. I listen to you. I speak. You listen to me. Fair?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Phenomenal. All right. So let's say there is like a community of serial unalivers out there, and you grew up in a community of serial.
You can say killers.
I'm still speaking. Still speaking. Still speaking,
letting
Linda.
you know you
still
don't have to say
speaking.
the
Still
fake word.
speaking. Still speaking, Linda. Still speaking. Still speaking.
You sound like Kamala Harris.
Still speaking, Linda. Still speaking, Linda.
Linda, listen,
Linda.
Linda, listen.
I don't
okay.
know what
It's okay.
fucking weird video.
It's
you're
okay, Linda.
referencing.
Linda.
Linda, listen,
Linda.
listen.
Okay. Now, there's a community of serial unalivers, and you grow up in a community of serial.
Killers.
So I'm gonna run my channel the way I want to.
Murderers.
We're all right. Well, I appreciate your time. If you don't want to follow the terms of service, God bless.
Okay, man.
We're off to a wonderful start, ladies and gentlemen. Off to a wonderful start. Wonderful start with really high level IQ people, really intelligent, really know how to do like basic conversation and hold like a modicum of respect. Is that the word I'm looking for? Let's just say I miss last night's debate. Last night's debate was phenomenal. Two people who avidly disagree actually have doctorates in this. Most civil, most loving conversation I've seen in a long time. You're back. Do you got your mic working?
Sorry, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got it.
Sorry, I apologize. I just got a call and I just got thrown out of the call. Apologize.
All right. So just to clarify, your argument is that because it's more simple to understand, therefore it's more true.
This is not my only argument. It's just one reason why it's.
How's that even a
what
reason?
that's-
Because, like, for example, quantum mechanics is true, but most people don't really understand it, right? Why is his hair just not?
That's
just
really
flying
true.
out? Yeah.
This is really true.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I think if there was a creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there was a creator who created everything and who created us, and we know there are people on this planet who aren't really that smart, right? So I guess it would make sense for this creator to have a really simple religion or a simple concept of God that anyone could understand.
Yeah, but that's an assumption, right? You're presupposing God would want to do that.
Yeah, this is just an argument to show that Islam is basically, if you want to believe in a God, it's a really reasonable religion to believe in because it doesn't.
But that doesn't
have,
make it
like-
reasonable. Just because you think it's simpler doesn't mean it's true, right? So, for example, this is an argument I bring up often when people bring up this argument. I believe in the God Gliblaglorp. All you have to do to be saved is say Gliblaglorp 3 times, and then Gliblaglorp will save you, and that's it. That is more simple than Islam. Is it true?
Well, that's true, but okay. So basically, what Islam makes Islam more reasonable is that we have a really authentic, unchanged scripture, right?
Okay.
It's not so. Basically, the God that you just presented is something you made up, but Islam
Well, how
is
do you
like
know?
a religion.
How do you know I made it up?
Well, because you just made it up, right?
How do you know that?
Didn't you? Well, didn't you?
Well, you made the claim, so I'm asking you to back it up, right? You said I made it up, so therefore you must have like a reason to believe I made it up.
Yeah, but now we're getting in the point where I can't like. Basically, I would then ask you to provide evidence for your claim that this God exists, right?
Great. So then I'll ask
Because-
you this. I'll ask you the same. I'll ask you to provide evidence for your claim that Islam is the true religion.
Yeah, the evidence that I would or that I would propose in this kind of situation would be the Quran, right? The
Okay.
scripture which claims itself is a divine inspired scripture. So basically,
Which
I'm
verse
pushing
in the
away
Quran says
the
that?
proofs from my own subjective ideas.
But hold on, which
and
verse
directing
in the
it
Quran
to-
says that it itself is a divine inspired scripture?
It's basically right away starts with it. Just when you you open the book and you just open it, and then you go to Surah 2, which is basically the first surah, and it says that this book, and there is no doubt, is a guide for
The
basically
Quran
humanity,
is a
right?
supreme authority in Islam. It's the fundamental and paramount source of the creeds, rituals, ethics. That's the introduction, but that's not actually in the Quran. So you wanted me to go to cow.
Yeah. Basically, the cow is the first.
Okay. So in the
surah.
cow, it says the very first. It says this is the scripture in which there is no doubt, counting guidance for those who are mindful of God, who believe in the unseen.
Yeah. So basically, it starts up that there is no doubt in this book, and it's a guidance for the people who believe, right? And it
that's
goes on explaining
That's
why
not, that
we
wasn't your
should-
original claim. What was your original claim again?
Sorry.
This is
What do
just
you mean?
claiming it is a scripture where there is no doubt. Now, your original claim
Well,
is the
there's-
Quran
oh,
is the only
oh,
one.
okay. Sorry. I'd said that there is this. This is the only book itself that claims it's actually a divine scripture. So basically, what differentiates the Quran from the Bible is just a collection of books written much later
Mhm.
than Jesus, while the Quran is a direct verbatim word of God. This is what we believe and what the
Mhm.
Quran claims itself. So it has a claim
Mhm.
written in many passages where the book says this book is from the
Okay.
directed from God, basically.
Okay. Watch this. This
So
is from Glib La Glorp. Does that mean Glib La Glorp wrote it?
okay, this is a really fair point.
Yeah.
I give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to respond to it by your permission. And what I would like to say is usually, so God in the Quran says that the people that present this kind of message are prophets. So the people that receive revelation by God, which according to Islam, many prophets before Muhammad received revelation, all the same kind of God concept. So basically, we believe that Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, they all come from the same boss. There's just
Right.
one God, and they are all the prophets. And the people that receive the revelation,
Can you
have
show
some
me?
sort
Can you
of-
show me where Habakkuk said that?
Sorry,
Can you show me where Habakkuk said that?
who's Habakkuk?
Habakkuk's a prophet.
I guess I don't understand your.
Well, you're
question.
trying to make the claim that all these prophets came with the same message, right? And Muhammad's just one of those people in the chain of prophets. But we have the
Yes.
writings of the prophets, and one of those people being Habakkuk, right? Habakkuk doesn't say these things. Neither does Amos.
Yeah.
So have you
So
read the old
basically-
prophets?
No, I'm talking about the Quran now. We believe that the prophets of the past, like Jesus and Moses, they received direct scripture from God, right? And the proof of their
Right. I know what you guys
prophecy-
believe, but I want reason to believe it. Like I'm well aware of what Muslims believe.
Yeah.
I want a reason why I believe it's true.
So if you want to have reason to believe the scripture is true, the first thing is that it has first of all, it has certain claims about itself, the scripture,
Hmm.
where it claims that there are no contradictions in the book. And if it were from anyone other than God, we would find many contradictions.
Can you show me the verse in the
like we
Quran that says there's no contradictions in the Quran?
Yes, I'd have to. So I know there is this first. I don't know. Don't have the exact reference.
Well, what it
But if you
says,
give me a
what it
second.
actually says is that Allah's word cannot be corrupted, right?
No. There's a different verse which says if this book were from any other than God,
Hmm.
they would find many contradictions,
Okay.
like as in contradictions, internal like in the Bible, where, for
Okay.
example, in one.
Okay, you're
passage
actually
the-
right. I do remember that verse now. You're right. There is a verse that says that. Okay,
And,
so
and there
so
are no
here,
contradictions. And
Right,
the
right.
opposite. There's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah, yeah.
prophecies. And
yeah. So hold on. So right here,
Sorry for interrupting.
this is from Glibla Glorb. Is there any contradictions there?
well, basically, the Quran is a massive book, right, with a lot of claims. So if you have so many claims written 1,500 years ago, where people basically had not really knowledge about
Mhm.
like science, and there's claims about the universe
okay.
expanding, the Big Bang, that
hold on.
everything is from water.
Don't trail off. Don't trail off. So how many claims do
Alright.
I need to put in this for it to be considered a book with no contradictions?
I guess you would have to make claims about the future, which will be correct. You will have to make claims about science, which we do not know now, which will also be correct in the future, because all of these are kind of claims that the
Right.
Quran makes, right?
So if I can show one
So
scientific
there's tons of
inaccuracy,
prophecies. There's a lot of prophecies in the Quran,
so if I can
and a
show
lot of scientific miracles.
yeah. So if I can show one scientific inaccuracy in the Quran, will that disprove it?
Yes, 100%. Because God, if there were any, then God, this would disprove the Quran definitely. I guess there is some things that the Quran claims which we do not know yet, but I don't think there's any clear scientific error in the Quran. But on the contrary, right? There's a lot of things written which we did not know back then, like all life is from water, that mountains move, that female bees they produce the honey, the universe was a singularity and expanded, the universe expanded. There's a lot of claims, and by its if you put them all together, it's really unlikely that someone who couldn't read or write would have be
Right.
able to say
Yeah.
all of
Okay.
these things,
So
right?
right here, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let the people consider that where they were created from. They were created from the spurting fluid. What is the spurting fluid?
Well, the spurting fluid is basically sperm, right?
Yeah. Awesome. Streaming between the backbone and the rib cage. Where does sperm come from?
Sperm is produced in what's the English term for it? The prostate.
Well, close. Yeah, the testes. Right? Does it
No,
come?
well, in the testes, there's a component of the sperm is produced, right?
Yeah, yeah. Does it come from the backbone and the rib cage?
Well, the testes is before your backbone, right? The prostate. So basically, if you have your vertebrae column before it, it
Yeah,
is.
you're
there
not
and-
answering the
and-
question. Does sperm come from the backbone or the rib cage? Or between that area?
Yeah, between that area, it's between the prostate is between the ribs in the front and the vertebrae is in the back. So it's between. It's not a clear.
So you're
scientific
telling
error,
me you're telling me God, the creator of all the universe, was
Yeah.
technically correct by saying the rib and the backbone technically is between that area. So why didn't he say between the butthole and the dick, where it's
Well,
where
I
it is
don't know.
technically in between? Right. This
But
is
you got-
this
you
this
gotta
is just
admit- you
basically
gotta
this is
admit, if this
no.
is like if
No, this is a
clear
scientific
contradiction-
inaccuracy. And my friend, if you're going to say that this is technically correct and it's in between and you think it's from God, you need help. I'm sorry. Like, you seem like a nice guy, but you're a smart guy to know that this is not saying that sperm is technically between the rib bone and the spine. The God of the universe, Allah, the all-knowing, that with his 99
Yeah,
attributes, told you, gave you a message from heaven, and that said sperm is between the rib and the backbone, And you're to conclude that that is the testes?
It's not a test. You could be the testes,
Like-
but it's the prostate, right? Because the
prostate,
prostate
prostate, sure. Yeah, but okay. Now let me
produces
ask
the
you this
fluid
question.
in which the sperm gets engulfed. And then
Right. So
come
let me
out.
ask you this question. Aliens come to visit you, and aliens are asking you where they can find sperm. Would you say between the rib bone and the spine?
No, I'd say in the prostate, I guess, because why? So basically, what I would answer to this kind of claim is you're right in the way that it's really a vague description. But in this, I could just say in this situation, God is not trying to give us an adequate or like a really detailed description about sperm. It just tries to say that we were created basically to humble us, that we were at the beginning just some like fluid, which is originating from the stomach, basically,
Or-
right between
or-
the ribs. And
Or a better
so it's not a
hypothesis.
it's not a really error, because technically, even if it's vague, it's true what it says. It says between the ribs and the spine.
Technically,
the prostate is there,
technically,
right? It's not exactly. It could be more specified. I
If
agree
you
with
want to,
you.
if you
Yeah.
want to go on technicalities, you cannot say I'm wrong when I say this. Technically, the center of the earth is between my butthole and my balls.
No, it's under your balls.
No, it's between my butthole and my balls. The center of the earth is between the two.
No, because you're standing on the surface, right? The center is much deeper in, so it's under your feet.
How far does it have to be considered underneath versus in between? What is the exact measurement?
I don't know, to be honest. I
Right.
just
So you're just
but
arbitrarily
what I
making
would like
up things.
to tell you is,
Here's a better hypothesis for you. Then
Yeah.
God is just trying to be vague. The better hypothesis is that this comes from ancient not Near East, ancient men in the Middle East, right? That didn't know where sperm came from. That's a better hypothesis.
it could be. You're right. It could be. But I would say I would answer to this if they didn't know this kind of things. Why would they know that the universe is expanding? Why would they know that everything is made of water? Why would they know how?
Right.
Why
So
would the
so
prophet?
so you're quote mining, right? So what was
Yeah.
the first one?
I would say I'm sorry, but I didn't want to skip.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is there's many
Yeah.
scientific.
So what was the first one? The
predictions.
first one was that the universe is expanding, right? Because it uses the word expanding, but when it actually goes back to the original Arabic, it doesn't use the word expanding. But even if I was to grant that the word is expanding, I can show you in the Bible where it says that the skies are an expanse. And that predates the Quran. So the Quran could have just got it from the Bible. Your next one, what was your next one? Everything
right.
was made with for water. Well, Aristotle talked about that 2,000 years before the Quran,
Yet that's true.
right? So
thing is,
then you're going to tell me
yeah.
how iron came down from the skies. Well, the Egyptians talked about that 6,000 years before the Quran. So you actually can't
That's
provide
really
me.
true.
You can't provide me a single thing that the Quran uniquely figured out by itself as a scientific miracle.
I agree with you that it could, like, it's possible. I researched it myself that these kind of things could be known before, right? The thing is, because we didn't confirm that truth until recent, right? So how would the prophet be able to dissect this kind of delicate truths from civilizations in the
I just told
past,
you
which
how.
weren't confirmed, and add them all together and produce like a plethora of these kind of scientific miracles which weren't known? I think the amount of them in total which is rather convincing, right?
No, I don't think it's convincing. I think people knew about these things in their cultures and communities, and Muhammad also heard about these things and wrote it down. And then he got things wrong, like the location of the sperm. He got embryology wrong, and his embryology distinctly lines up with Hippocratic and Aristotelian embryology. Or is it Aristotelian? I don't remember, but it was definitely Hippocratic. So it lines up with the Hippocratic embryology, which predates him and was incorrect, right? There is no clinging place that it holds, and it doesn't come from a single clot.
Okay, I gotta admit I'm not too familiar with the embryology argument. I just know that the clinging structure could, like, I saw pictures where it resembles like an eel or something, which was the Arabic term, and that's it was kind of correct-ish, right? But Yeah, it was really nice talking to you. If you want to, basically, I think so. Right now, we just talked about, or we spent most of our time talking about like the miracles and stuff. But I think even the concept of God is really simple in Islam, and is really resonating with people like to believe in a kind of higher power. And I think there were studies shown that young or children usually grow up believing in
One
some sort
second.
of higher power,
If the
and
Quran
this kind of
states
Just one
higher
all
second,
power.
living
please.
things are made from
Yes,
water, it is an internal contradiction. Jinn are living things, they are not made of water. Jinn are made of smoke and fire. Isa made a living bird from clay, not water.
You got that too, but sorry, go ahead.
Um, yeah. So basically, I would say like even the concept of God in Islam is really simple and really resonating
Right,
with.
but we already agreed at the start of this conversation, simplicity doesn't make something true. And I would actually argue that the Muslim God is incoherent. It doesn't make any sense. So, for example, would you say that Allah is a creator, like an eternal creator?
A creator. Sorry,
Yeah. Or sorry, would you say God? Would you
greater
say
or creator?
Allah?
I
Would you
didn't
say
understand
hold
your
on? Would
word.
you say Allah is the most loving?
It's one of his attributes. Yes.
Okay, who did he love before creation?
Who did he love before creation?
Yeah.
Ooh, I never thought about this question, so I guess I had to just give you an answer right from the bat. What I think.
Mhm.
So basically, we know that before he created us, there were other creations as well, like angels and.
Before creations, not us. Before all of creation, who did he love?
So I don't know. I can't answer this perfectly, but I would say that the loving is he doesn't need anyone to love to be loving, because it's like an eternal attribute of his. So he's a merciful.
Oh, if
We
he's all
humans, we
merciful,
need somebody
who's he
to
merciful to?
receive the mercy in order to be merciful, right? But he's just his being, his existence, his essence is merciful.
How's it merciful
So I
if there's
guess,
nothing to give mercy to?
yeah, exactly. But this is the difference between the creator and the created. So the creator has like these eternal attributes that are just part of his existence
But how
that
does it
don't need any
exist?
recipient.
Yeah, how does it exist if by definition those things require recipients? You cannot be merciful without somebody to give mercy to. It's an impossibility. It's a logical contradiction. You cannot be all loving without something to give love to.
Well, there is something to give love to, and there is something to receive the. It's not like there's never anything, right? God created things.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, through his mercy, he created different kind of creation.
But who
Different kind
did
of
he
beings.
love before he created? Who did he give mercy to before he created?
I guess I this is what I would answer. That if I can't answer more than that. I guess part of his mercy is that he does create, right? And the creation receives this mercy.
What does mercy mean?
Well, mercy means that he likes, or that he is a being that accepts, that is forgiving and accepts repentance.
So what is he
Of his
forgiving?
being.
What is he forgiving by creating something?
Well, he knows that anything which is not him is not perfect, right?
Uh-huh.
So his creation is not perfect. We are not created perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And through his mercy, we will be forgiven.
Yeah, but we
And
haven't yet.
the concept of forgiveness of God is merciful because he doesn't need a sacrifice. Like in Christianity, which is basically
No, you're trying to burden shift,
sacrificing
right?
religion.
You're trying
for
you're trying
salvation.
to burden shift because we got you in a point, right?
Yeah.
Who is he merciful to, right? And you're saying, well, by him creating, that's an act of mercy, but they haven't done anything. There's nothing to give mercy to.
He's merciful to his creation.
Right, but before creation, who is he merciful to?
I don't know, to be honest.
Right. And so we go back to the loving thing. Before creation, there was nothing for him to love. Because
Yeah,
love
but
is an
I
action.
guess,
It's not a
but
feeling.
he did create, right? So why are we not dealing with the things he did create? Because we are here, we
Because
exist, right?
I'm showing you the incoherency. Because you said Allah is more simple, so therefore it's more likely to be true. Well, you have a big problem here. Because you have the problem of the one and the many. You have one God, he is one, and that is it. Right? But the problem with the one and the many is that you cannot define something simply based off one. To define things, you need a many. And you cannot just have many without a totality being encapsulated into one. So to even create a definition or make something understandable, you have to have one that is many. And this is why the Trinitarian God makes more sense, because you have one God, three persons. So you have a way to distinguish, you have a way to make sense, you have a way to understand love, you have a way to understand mercy, you have all these things that are encapsulated in the idea of the Trinitarian God. But with the God of Allah, the God of Islam, you don't. You have this thing that's out there that is incomprehensible.
Well, we can comprehend him because he sends revelation explaining himself, right?
Okay, to comprehend him, define one thing for me. Go ahead.
So basically, God describes himself in the Quran by saying he's God, the one, the I'm trying to translate in my head. It's Surah 112. Do you have it open? So basically, I tried to translate it, but it's really difficult since English is not my first language. It's a really short 4 verses where he describes himself, basically saying that he's uniquely one, that everything is dependent of him, and he's dependent
Mhm.
on nothing.
Mhm.
He doesn't beget, nor was he begotten,
Mhm.
and nor is there anything like him. So basically, we
You're
just
still not
have a
explaining to me the state of what God is. What is God? What is
So-
Allah? How do you explain Allah? Those things don't explain. Those are events. You're giving me verbs.
Yes. Okay. I would say that God is the creator of everything, who has not been created. So basically,
Okay,
he
was he a
there.
creator before he created?
So he has existed. He has always existed, because if he were created himself, you would ask what created God, and you would
Okay,
just
has
go
creation
back
always
forever.
existed?
This I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't
then
know if creation has always
was there a
existed.
time before creation?
I guess I don't know the answer to this question.
Okay,
I would have to answer by myself, but usually we as Muslims, we answer through what God revealed to us. And I'm not familiar with the concept of what was there before he created anything.
that's the problem in your sentence right there, is that you just say we only answer based off what God revealed to us, which you just said you've closed your mind off to new information. You've closed your
No, I
mind
didn't,
off
but
to
usually
even
it's
learning
like-
that Islam is false. Because here's the thing,
But,
if all you base it
yeah.
off of is what God revealed to you, then you have no ability to actually take in new information and learn that your religion is false.
This is really true. I agree with you. So basically, Muslims, we tend to be really closed off through, like, we don't want to engage in our own thinking too much. But the reason, even though it sounds like stupid, the reason for that is if you like dissect religion and just politics or human civilization, people tend to just get stupid ideas from time to time, and the morality gets subjective, and by that you get like shift. You don't have objective morality basically, and as Muslims we are told we shouldn't do this and we should just obey God. We should believe that he, due to his ability or wisdom, knows us better than we don't know ourselves, and we can see the results through like liberalism and this kind of ideas that the human morality in a secular society shifts even only in a couple of years, right? So people can't agree on what is morally right or wrong. And
Yeah, I'm not too sure where you're going with this. Just kind of seems like you're on a tangent. Like, how does any of that prove Islam?
Well, usually it proves Islam because if we adhere to what God tells us to do, we
Well,
have.
hold on, that's a presupposition. How do you know it's from God?
Well, I know it's from God because the scripture hasn't been corrupted. It has stayed the same
Well,
since
now we've
the
gone full
beginning.
circle. Right. It's the
right?
very first thing that we already debunked, right? Because you can't give me a criteria to know how many things have to be written down to show you that it hasn't been corrupted. Because right here, I have this is from Glibelgorp that's never been corrupted. How many
Well,
things do I
basically,
have to put in
okay.
there for it to be like a non-contradictory book?
So we know, I would answer to this is if God would send us revelation, right? And we were to corrupt it, then we couldn't trust it. So if God were to send revelation, he would also
No, you again,
make sure that we couldn't change
again,
his revelation.
again,
And
you're
we have like,
you're presupposing things. How do you know God would do that? You're
well,
already
basically because
deciding
God
what
is fair,
things God
right?
would do.
Because if God would send something through his
Mhm.
wisdom and we were changing it without the latter generation, the next generation knowing that we changed it and believed in it, and they would go astray, right? Because they start believing in things which
Yeah,
God wouldn't intend in the
yeah,
first
that
place.
is an outcome that would happen. But how do you know God wouldn't allow that outcome to happen?
Why? I mean, then if he were allowed it to happen, life wouldn't make really sense because if he created us to be here and send us revelation and just we were
Okay,
to corrupt it, then why like how could we be responsible for our actions,
great,
right?
right.
So
So
we
watch
believe that
watch
through his
this.
mercy he
Watch
sent.
this. Watch this.
Yes,
You
yes,
said
yes.
that God couldn't do it because then it wouldn't make any sense. Is the Bible corrupted?
This is what I think, right? And this is what God tells
Hold on.
us.
Answer this question. Is the Bible corrupted? Is the gospel, the Injil, was that corrupted?
The Injil was not corrupted. No,
Where is it?
we don't have it.
Okay. So what do we have now?
We have anonymous written biographies by people that lived much later, never met
Hmm.
and knew Jesus, right?
Who claim that it's the gospel? Injil means gospel,
They
right?
they do claim it, yes.
Yeah.
But
So
we know that we believe in the gospel of Jesus. Where is what Jesus wrote? We don't have it.
okay. So what we have now is a corruption of that, right?
Exactly. What we do have not, like we believe the Bible of today does contain some truth in
Okay.
it, but has been corrupted by like
Okay. So
the people that change it.
then God's word was corrupted.
No, because it wasn't God's words. The people just wrote something down.
Okay.
What God's word
Okay. What
was
about the
Jesus
Torah?
preached.
What about the Torah? The Torah that was given to Moses. Do you think
Same
that
thing.
we have the original Torah?
We don't have it. We don't have the original manuscripts.
Okay. So then when you
The-
when you make arguments, I'm not talking about original autographs. We don't really have original autographs of most of the things in history. But when you make arguments that your Moses, or sorry, your Muhammad aligns with Moses's teachings, how do you know he aligns with Moses's teachings if you're not using the Torah?
This is a really great point. And the answer to this is we use the more authentic source.
Actually, you know what? Bad argument on my end. I'm going to use a different one. When Muhammad taught from the Torah, oh, you left. Anyways, I was going to say when Muhammad taught from the Torah, which Torah was he teaching from? That was the next one I was going to do. Okay, let's bring up the next guest. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 18.
All right,
Can you
bro.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. First, I don't speak English so good because it's not my native language, but I will try to do my best. I'm agnostic, but I think that there is a good reason to be an atheist because everything that we didn't know about our universe and we found out to we understood that it wasn't because of God, and it was caused by natural causes. And
How do you
so
know that? How do
therefore,
you know the universe was caused by natural causes? And what do you mean by a natural cause?
for example, people didn't know how do you say that lightnings were formed or something, and
No,
then we
you said
learned.
it's the start of the universe. I'm not even talking about lightning. How do you know the start of the universe was a natural cause? And then also, how are you defining natural cause?
By natural cause, I mean something that don't need a God to help do it. It can happen. It can happen completely by itself, like
Okay,
because of
so
nature.
the problem with that definition is that if God exists, literally everything that happens because of God's will. So everything would be a miracle.
Right, but with everything we see now, you need to define what is a miracle, because everything we see in the nature is natural. So
Well, no, I don't think you understood what I said. You're based off your definition, right, is something that can happen without God. Well, the problem with that definition is it kind of begs the question, right? Because if God exists, which is what we're arguing about, nothing happens without God. So everything would be a miracle, and therefore there'd be no natural things.
Right, but you're the one that claiming that there is a God.
I haven't made any claims.
Okay, so you're saying if you're saying that God does not exist, you need to prove that He doesn't exist. I'm agnostic, but I
haven't said anything or made any claims. I just pointed a hole in your argument. That's all I've done.
I understand. Okay, so let's say it's not a good reason, but because if you're claiming negativity, you can claim positivity. It's kind of the same thing. So
what?
Let me repeat what I said. I'm trying to translate it in my head, but it doesn't come out right. So let me readjust my words. I understood that there isn't really a good reason to be an atheist, because you will need to say that you need to prove that God isn't real, because you're claiming that He isn't. Okay, I understand it. But my point as an agnostic, that is, if you claim that there is a God, you need to prove it.
I haven't made any claims. So if your only thing is to come up here and demand that I make a claim, well, no, because that's not the topic today.
Okay, so you're saying, can I follow you, and then another day we will talk about why you believe in Christianity?
I'm sorry?
If I will follow you, are you doing lives about why Christianity is true and atheism is false, or Islam is false?
Yeah, I do lives on all sorts of topics, and I am a Christian, and very often I defend the Christian faith, yes.
Okay. So that's all I had to say. I'm sorry about my bad English, but I hope you understand me.
All right, man. Well, appreciate your time. God bless.
Thank you.
Well, before we jump on to the next one, let's do some super chats. Thank you for the $1. Erica Glow says, Big John Steele, appreciate your work always, brother. Appreciate you. Eric. I said Erica. That was my mistake. Appreciate you, Eric. We did go through this. So the Quran states all living things are made from water. It's an internal contradiction. General living things, they're not made from water. This is true. And then I still can't say her name. Allah wants people to sin. Sahih Muslim 2749. All of it's Allah's will. Everybody who does not come to Allah is because Allah did not will it. It is the most Calvinistic religion. It's more Calvinistic than Calvinism. Mm-hmm. All right, let's bring up the next guest. Justin, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Sorry, how old are you?
I'm 35.
All right, man, there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong, go ahead.
So my whole premise lies in the fact that I think that God is very evil. To me, he's worse than Satan. To me, he's worse than Hitler. All of them combined,
you got to say Smitler.
People, Hitler.
Smitler. You got to say Smitler. You can't say that. Yeah, don't say.
Okay, sorry, Hitler. You can get all the worst people on the earth, all their sins, and it won't even amass anything to what God has actually done in the Bible.
hmm
And if you look at it, and let's just say you're the perfect human being. You follow all the rules, you end up in heaven, and which a very few people will ever do.
Uh-huh.
The amount of time that you're on Earth, like let's say I've been on Earth for like 30 years,
Uh-huh.
35 years. And literally when you're in heaven, you're there forever. Like forever is something that people cannot conceptualize.
Hold on. You're
35
making a whole bunch of points, man. Which point do you want me to address? You want me to address the point that God's evil or heaven lasts forever? What are we doing?
Well, he's evil, and once you get to heaven,
hmm
you're not going to be able to stay there. There's no way. Even the angels, even the most beloved angels of God, they come to earth.
So are you here to preach something you believe or have a discussion? Which point do you want me to address? Because you're bringing up multiple
My whole
points.
point is when you go to heaven,
Mm.
he's so evil you don't even want to be there. Even the angels come to earth looking for the women. If heaven is so great, why are they
Right.
coming to go see the women?
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
or did you read the prompt before you came up?
I thought I did.
What does it say?
I read it that there is no point in not being Christian
No.
or
That's not
that's
what it
what I
says.
interpreted it.
You
Okay,
interpret it.
then
What does it say?
There is no reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong.
Right. So where's your argument for atheism?
So why would I ever believe or why would I ever want to believe in anything that's this evil? Why would I ever follow?
So this is not
Why
an
would I
argument.
speak
This is not an
for-
argument for atheism. This is an argument against Christianity. I could grant to you that Christianity is false. You still have deism. You still have theism. You still have Islam. You still have Buddhism. You still have Norse pagan religions. What is your argument for atheism?
Okay, disregard. I think I went off topic. I didn't understand. Yeah, I don't have the argument. Sorry about that.
So you admit there's no argument for atheism? If you're willing to admit that, then I'll address your topic about Christianity.
That they're okay. Well, yeah. Something must have created everything here.
Okay, so you agree there's no good argument for atheism?
Yeah,
Okay, awesome.
I don't have a good reason for that.
Great. So now I'll address your thing about Christianity. Let me just grant your whole argument about God being evil. Why does that make it false?
So if you look at it, right,
Mhm.
these are just people. These are just Jewish people that were given a vision, right? And they create these Bibles, and
You're not answering my actual question I asked you. My question I asked you, because you brought up there's this God is evil. He's done all these terrible things. He's worse than Satan. He's worse than Smittler, that you wouldn't even want to go to heaven because it'd be just like a terrible place to be. How does that disprove it? Right. So I could say Trump is the worst president in the world and he's done all sorts of terrible things and I hate him, but that doesn't change the fact that he's still the president of the United States.
You can just read the Bible. Like, people don't live to 900 years old. The world is not flat. There is no Noah's Ark. You just look into tiny little lies. You can't prove
Okay.
them in history.
If God
They don't
existed,
even exist.
so hold on. If God existed, could he make it so people live 900 years?
I don't know that. Well,
What do you mean you don't
we
know
know that people don't live that long at our current time.
Yep.
So we were stopped out of life. We de-evolved. Then what
Yes.
animal do you know that lived a very long time, like a tortoise, and now what lives like 100 years now lives like 1/10 of that?
Yeah,
That
so
doesn't happen.
you didn't answer my question. If God exists and he's all powerful, like the Christian God claims to be, could he make it so people live 900 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's technically with magical powers, you can do anything.
Right. So how does people living 900 years disprove it?
I could ask you how come Doctor Strange didn't create this world?
Yeah. So when we're talking about Doctor Strange, I don't care what word you use. We're talking about a referent, and all we're talking about here is the omni being. So if you're just saying Doctor Strange is the omni being, that's fine.
Yeah, maybe he was just here. He was here before. Maybe
Yeah,
he's hiding around.
you don't understand what I said. You really don't understand what I said. So what we're talking about is the name, right? I say God, you say Doctor Strange, but it doesn't matter what name we're using. We're referring to the same thing.
Yeah, if I'm gonna,
Can you just steel man my argument? I don't think you
just
said yeah, like you understood it. Just steel man what I said, so I know you understood it.
just restate your argument again.
Yeah, you weren't listening, right? This is a bad habit you guys have. You come up, you want to preach, you want to tell me all the things that you feel and why you hate Christianity, but then you don't actually want to listen when somebody gives an argument for it. So you could say, so hold on. You wanted me to restate. I'm going to restate it, but you're actually going to listen this time. So
Okay.
You said Doctor Strange. How do I know it's not Doctor Strange? Well, I said it doesn't matter what name you give it because we're both referring to the same thing, which is the omni property being.
Okay, so this omnipotent being that you keep talking about, and you're literally giving the power to do whatever that it can do, and you can literally answer every single question that I throw at you with this fact. This thing has omnipotent power to do anything. So why do I have to literally take that for every single answer? There's nothing I can refute against
No,
that.
you're
That
saying
literally
people.
has power
No,
of every
no,
single
no.
answer
That's
I
not
can
every single answer.
literally
When you
do.
bring up something like snakes don't talk, or donkeys don't talk, or people don't live to be 900 years old, you're begging the question because you're presupposing God doesn't exist. Because if God did exist, he could do those things. So I'm just showing an issue with your argumentation.
So God can make animals talk, make them live to 900, but then do you see how God takes that away?
Yeah.
He
So
takes
again, you're just pointing out things you
stuff
don't
away.
like and saying I don't like the fact that he did it, so therefore he doesn't exist.
No, well, you look into the history, right? And then you look into the present, you can kind of compare. Do animals talk then? Oh, yeah, supposedly. But do they talk now? Does this book say that animals talk back then? And now we look, do animals talk now? No.
Yeah, so
if the book says that
you're
people
begging the
live to,
question.
900,
You're begging the question. You're presupposing God doesn't exist. Because if God could exist, he can absolutely talk through an animal or allow an animal to talk. Right?
So my point was that the stuff that's said in the Bible previously cannot be replicated to the current present time. That was my whole point from the beginning.
Nothing that happened in history can be replicated to the present time.
Why can't things happen in the present time?
Okay.
Like,
can you replicate Hannibal crossing the Alps?
I don't know about that.
Well, you can't. It's something that happened in history. You cannot replicate anything that happened in history because it's in the past. You're always going to be missing a parameter. So, for example, you might get Hannibal crossing the Alps on elephants. Well, maybe you can cross the Alps on an elephant. You could say, yeah, people can cross the Alps on elephants, but you can't replicate Hannibal crossing the Alps on elephants.
Yeah, but if I do it, it's the same thing. It's possible.
How do you know it's possible for Hannibal without having Hannibal to do it? You're missing a factor in your scientific method.
That really point doesn't really even matter in the whole scheme of it. Like, I'm just trying to compare like a book that says X, and then I'm trying to see if it says X right now, but it doesn't. If you're trying to get all scientific,
you're the one who brought up the
face
scientific
value-
method. You couldn't replicate it now. You cannot replicate
If
anything
you're
that
getting
happened in
one in the
history,
past
yet we
and
still
not
things
one
happen
in
in
the
history.
future, it doesn't make sense. It's either the one that they don't evil.
I'm sorry, what?
If you got one, like let's just say the animals can talk one, right, and they can't talk now, that's the value is not the same.
Okay, do parrots talk?
Okay, but what were they talking about parrots in the Bible?
You said animals. Do
You
parrots
can't, you
talk?
can't change the animal.
Do parrots
You
talk?
can't change the animal.
You said animals. Do parrots talk?
Yeah, they
Okay,
talk.
is it possible then other animals will evolve to have the ability to talk in the future?
I mean, it's possible.
Great. So is it possible that maybe there was an animal that existed in the past that was similar to a donkey or a snake, and we referred to it as a donkey or a snake, but then just died off and we don't have any remnants of its remains?
I don't think so.
Why? Why is that not
All
possible?
that happened like
Did the dodo bird
3,500
die
years
off?
ago. I think that was about like 3,500 years ago.
Did the dodo bird
and
die off?
I don't think there was a donkey.
Did the dodo bird die off?
Yeah. Yes.
So animals die off. So why is that not possible?
So you're saying that 3,500 years ago?
I'm not saying anything. I'm asking you a question. Is it possible?
I don't think so.
Why?
I think it's very, 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 very.
What is impossible about it?
If it is, it's so minuscule of a chance that it's not even.
So it's not impossible?
You have to reach so much.
What's
so
2 plus
much
2?
To prove the point. You have to reach so much.
What's 2 plus
to a
2?
point where it's like
What is 2 plus 2?
It's 4.
Great. So you can't answer a question. So is it possible?
Is when you go and you eat food.
All right.
And
This will be the last time. Last time. Is it possible?
All
right. Here's the last time I'm going to ask the question. You're either going to answer it. Or I'm going to move on. Is it possible?
Yeah, I guess.
Great. So then, how does that disprove it?
Okay, so you're saying back in the day.
I'm not saying anything. I appreciate your time. God bless.
And there was donkeys and
if I ask you a question and then you return, well, so you're saying, no, I'm not saying anything. I'm asking you a question. It just means you're not willing to answer the question. Also, we're not doing voting off today because I don't have Abby to run the queue or to do the thing. So I'm just going to run every time I'm getting cooked. So I'm just going to run every time I'm getting cooked today. Mm-hmm. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Good. I'm over 20.
All right. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Well, actually, there's a lot of good things to be a Muslim. First of all, we don't starve people. We don't turn out poor people from entering worshiping place. What's good about being
Yeah, so
Christian?
the word good that I'm using here is talking about rationality. What is the knowledge, the belief, and justification to make it true? So even if you did do those things and you did it better than Christians all around the world, how does that prove that your religion is true?
The religion is true because of we don't believe in racism. Everybody's
Okay, so you're just giving me
equal.
your subjective perspective on like morality. So let's say I am a racist. Why does that make me wrong?
What did you say?
Let's just pretend I'm a racist. Why does that make me wrong? She left. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Good. How are you? I am 26.
All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. I requested a good while back, but I've just been sitting here listening, and I agree with a lot of your arguments. You almost argue like an like agnostic? I'm not really sure.
I'm a
Like
Christian.
that's it. Okay. I just don't see how your own arguments don't apply to your own religion.
Yeah. So are you
About
admitting there's no
how-
good reason to be atheist or no good reason to be Muslim?
I'm under the perspective that good and bad in the first place require perspective. They don't exist necessarily. They're
Yeah.
an
So
imagination.
I'm not talking about like an aspect of morality. I'm talking about like an aspect of rationalism. So it needs
Of
a
rationalism?
knowledge, belief, and a justification. Is there a knowledge, belief, and justification for atheism?
Like sorry. It's hard for me to say. I grew up Christian,
Mhm.
ended up becoming an atheist, and then right now I'm agnostic. I'm under the impression that no one has a clue about anything and that we're all just picking at straws here. You know?
I think agnosticism is a fair stance, but I'm not willing to go into defending the Christianity until the people concede these points. If you concede these points, I'll go and defend Christianity, but not until then. Because most people just do whataboutism for their argument. We never actually get to the crux that there really is no justifiable reason to be an atheist or a Muslim.
Okay. That's a valid point. Thank you, man.
All right. Was that it?
All right. Yeah, like I said, I requested like right when I joined the live a while ago, and I've just been listening to your argument, and you have a pretty solid argument.
I know.
So
Appreciate you.
but all right, man. You have a good one.
God bless. Nice guy.
right.
All right. Let's bring up another guest. Let's do a couple super chats. Slow work day. If you want to co-host, no pressure. Is this your topic? Striker? Like I gotta hear you. I gotta hear you do that. Why don't you were supposed to message me and we'll set something up. We'll set something up. Right? Let's do that. We'll do that. 200 watchers chip in $2 for the dono bar. Solid piece of advice. Solid piece of advice. Mm-hmm. All right, let's bring in the next guest. That's funny. Finally, a chat with like-minded Satanists. You're welcome here. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Muslim. Hello? Going once, going twice. And he's out of here. All right, let's bring up the next guest. No, I want more co-hosts, my friend, but I just like, I don't know yet. I got to be certain. And so we got to have a little chat first. Ace, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm 23.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong.
So my question is for you about Christianity.
Nope.
No?
No, that's not the topic.
So I can't ask you nothing about Christianity?
Not until
What
you
makes-
can see. If you concede there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim, then yes.
So what's your argument against Muslim?
The fact that it contradicts historical fact like Jesus Christ being crucified.
And as far as historical, like
I don't believe
data.
What year were you born?
2002.
How old did you say you were?
23.
All right, go ahead.
So as far as crucifixion, there is no evidence for it happening. Like There's
Really?
no
John
solid
Dominic
evidence.
Crossan, prominent historian who is not even Christian, says that one of the most assured things that we know in history is that Jesus Christ is crucified. Bart Ehrman wrote an entire book, who is also not a Christian, explaining how Jesus Christ was crucified and going through all the data and how we know that for certain. It is not even contested among scholars in prominent fields who teach scholarship. Now, there are obviously few people like Richard something, I forget his last name, that do argue against that, but these are the minority viewpoint, and they pretty much are laughed out of the academic field for it.
But historians that disagree about the crucifixion, because there is no solid evidence that the crucifixion actually happened. There is many Christians that
Yeah, so we have writings from
disagree.
Paul, the apostles. We also have Josephus and Tacitus. We also have a writing from a guy who was in prison who talks about Jesus being crucified. There's a lot of historical sources that say he was crucified, and so this would be a reason to not believe in Islam, is because it contradicts that and says he was never crucified. It was only made to look so. And so even the Quran itself admits that all of history should believe that he was crucified, because there's enough evidence to believe it because it was made to look so. So if you want to contradict the Quran on that one, that's not going to be a good look for you.
Since you brought up Paul, I do disagree about Paul, what he says in this.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to shift to Christianity, and what you're going to do is you're going to give me a reason to be a Muslim.
No, I do disagree
Well,
about.
then I appreciate your time if you're not going to do that. So are you going to defend Islam, or am I going to move on to the next person?
So I can't talk. I can't
Appreciate your
defend
time.
my
God
point.
bless. Volcano. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Oh my God. Hello, how are you doing?
Good, man. How old are you?
I'm 30.
All
My
right.
English is not that great.
Me either.
Well, no, you're.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead. Hello? Hello? Okay, goodbye. Twilight Onion. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 38.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I mean, I feel like the easiest, argument would probably be something like, clearly you don't believe it was a good reason to be.
You're very difficult to understand. You're kind of muffled. Like I can hear you, but you just like got a muffled sound and like kind of like a weird electrical sound happening.
That better?
Test again.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you so much. All right, sorry. What did you say?
Well, so clearly, I mean, obviously the prompt kind of posits that there's no good reason to be a Muslim. So wouldn't a good reason to be an atheist, just as a starting point, be that you were born in a Muslim country and that's the only experience with religion you have?
Yeah, so what I mean by good is a rational reason. So as a knowledge, belief, and justification, I'm sure you wouldn't say that, growing up in a community of serial unalivers is a good reason to be a serial unaliver.
No, but it could very well be a good reason to not be. Like if you see an unjust practice like that, and you go against what you view as ignorant or unjust.
So yeah, that's fine. But you just admitted growing up in that society doesn't mean it's a good reason to be a part of that thing.
Right, and that's my whole posit, though. It's like I don't think there's a good reason to be a Muslim either. I'm an atheist.
Okay.
But that being said, I'm saying, wouldn't it follow then a good reason to be atheist is that you were raised in a Muslim society, and so you're going against what you were raised around?
No, not unless you can give me a belief, knowledge, and justification for it.
I mean, all atheism is a rejection of something else. It's not necessarily asserting anything on its own.
Yeah,
and
so atheism is atheism, right? Theism is a positive claim there is a God. The absence. So you're saying there is no God. That is a positive claim. Right.
I mean,
and like, if you want to just reject, you want to reject God and you say, I'm not sure, I'm not certain, then that'd be agnosticism.
I mean, I usually view those two things as being an anti-theist versus an atheist.
Yeah, I don't care how you view it. That is the definitions.
And so, do you think then that it would be? Let's accept your definition of atheist then for the purpose of this conversation. I don't really want to get deeply into semantics for no reason.
Semantics are important, especially in debates or conversations. It's how you make sure you're communicating to each other the correct information.
Right, which is why we're using your definition in your conversation. So, like, granting you that, would it not then follow, at the very least, that, like, if you don't have sufficient evidence to believe in something, why would you be asserting its belief?
Yeah, so then you would do agnosticism.
But you're going to be living without God, though, in that case. Like, so if you're just saying, like, I have seen no evidence of a God, and so I'm rejecting the idea of God because everything that I experience goes against that idea.
Well, if you're rejecting the idea of God, then you're being atheist. If you're saying there is no God, so it's a simple question: does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
And you think that there's no good reason to say no until proven otherwise?
Yeah. So denying things' existence, if you have no justification for it, is irrational.
I don't necessarily think even you believe that, because if I were to assert any number of other fictitious gods but claim true belief in it, you're not going to necessarily be like, oh, I'm going to withhold rejecting this idea until I've gathered sufficient evidence.
Test me on that. Go ahead.
I mean, flying spaghetti monster. It's like if I try to convince you that Harry Potter is actually a documentary.
Don't gish gallop and do a whole bunch. So you want to do the flying spaghetti monster?
Sure, let's do the flying spaghetti monster.
Great. What are the properties of the flying spaghetti monster?
Love of ramen, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is satirical. But if I were to try to convince you that, like, the only God in existence is satirical and only...
So you just told me it's satirical, so now I have a reason to reject it. Because you just told me it was satire. You told me you made it up. So now I have an actual justification to reject it.
Okay, so you want me to actually use something that doesn't have a predate then? So if I were to tell you that there's like a nexus creature, that it absorbs all the ley lines of magic that in the entire world, and that this thing, without it, like the entire cycle of life, would not exist in the mortal coil. How are we feeling about this?
So nexus creature, what does it do? I missed the first part.
It absorbs the magical ley lines of the world and is the only way that life can continue to propagate on the planet, on the mortal coil.
And how does it keep life propagating?
Well, because it's the entry point at which all the energy coalesces there and then redistributes out.
Okay.
Without it, your cycle of rebirth is broken.
And what should I expect to see if this creature exists?
The fact that people keep getting born.
Okay. So then I'd have to claim agnosticism.
Well, I think a lot of people would find it pretty reasonable to also just reject it out of hand.
Why?
Because you have no actual good evidence supporting it.
So you reject all things. So things do not exist until they're proven to exist.
No, I wouldn't say that. You're certainly allowed to be ignorant of things, but I think that we should probably be reserving our belief in things
that's irrational
until such a time that we have sufficient evidence.
Right, and I think that's irrational because based off definition, it does not have a justification to reject it.
It has a justification by saying that there's no evidence supporting it. Like,
Okay, so then you're saying, then by definition, you're saying things do not exist until they're proven to exist.
Well, no, like I said, you're allowed to be ignorant on the subject matter.
Right, so
like
if I'm ignorant, then I claim agnosticism.
Right, but you're also operating at, like, we're ignorant about a lot of things that we're never going to even have enough information about to have a question posed towards us on it.
Right, and then we stay agnostic on that.
Right, because we have to be. But when other people are making claims in regards to those things, like, you don't think that deserves a separate category compared to
because that's special pleading. If it's you say claims a special category, a new special category, that's special pleading by definition. For us to make a claim, I'm saying that for us to make a claim either positive or negative, we need a justification for it. You are missing the justification here. You're just saying, well, it just doesn't make sense to me, so therefore it's not real.
Well, you're talking about special pleading, but like I'm actually just talking about categories in that I think that the existence of something being completely outside of all knowledge base is probably going to be in a separate category to someone presenting you with a claim and you needing to make an evaluation on it. Currently, you have both of those two situations in the same
Right.
category.
So what
and I'm
you're saying
that
is
those two
things
categories
don't
deserve
exist
a
until they're
distinction.
proven to exist. So quantum mechanics didn't exist until it was proven to exist.
That's not what I said at all.
That is what you're saying. You're saying we have to take the null state, which the thing does not exist until it's proven to exist, which I think is irrational to do.
I'm saying that category of things, so like quantum mechanics before it was discovered, is in one thing, whereas me coming up with a fictitious God and asserting that claim.
If I would have told somebody 1,000 years ago about the properties of quantum mechanics, they would have taken it just as like this nexus creature, just as crazy as that. Because the things that happen in quantum mechanics, we can barely comprehend. Did you leave? You left. Hello? No, that's the other guy. No, you left. He's gone. All right, let's bring up the next guest. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Hello? Hello? All right, God bless. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm good, and I'm 18.
All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I would concede that atheism isn't true, but I wouldn't say Christianity is true.
So you concede there's no good reason to be atheist?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so why is Christianity false?
Okay,
Wait,
I
are
would
you
say
Muslim?
No, I'm, I guess, agnostic.
Okay, can you say Muhammad's a false prophet for me?
Muhammad is a pedophile and a false prophet.
Based. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I would say it's not true because determinism is true and free will does not exist.
Okay, why couldn't you just adopt like a super Calvinistic version of Christianity? If that was the case.
I don't know. I feel like that doesn't really make him like just when the Bible says he is just.
Just based off what standard?
I think it's Deuteronomy 32:4. Hold up. Let me look it up. Yeah, God is the rock. His work is perfect. All his ways are just.
Yeah, that's just stating the word just according to what standard?
But do you agree that God is supposed to be like good?
Good and just according to what standard?
I mean, like human standards, just like the general like view of good that we have.
Okay, so based
Like-
off your own deterministic perspective?
I guess based on just general society's perspective.
Right, so a popular vote?
I guess.
Okay, so what happens when popular vote changes throughout time? Because if this is an act of fiction, if this is an act of fiction, which if Christianity is false and the Bible's an act of fiction, the logical conclusion is the people who wrote it at that time would have seen those things to be just.
Yeah. But I feel like that makes it a human kind of religion if it's just people saying what's good.
Right, so you're missing my point. You're saying it's not just based off your own subjective opinion.
What do you think God can murder babies and still be just?
If that is what justice is, sure.
So just based on like divine command theory, pretty
Right.
much.
So what you're doing is it's called an intuition pump, right? You're just trying to pump my intuition and make me disagree with it. It's a very weird thing because if we're using our morality to judge the scripture, right? We're saying it doesn't line up with our morality, but then at the same time we concede that morality is subjective. It's a really weird way to measure things. Because if the scripture is true and God is real, and this is the standard that was given to us, that is the standard, whether we agree with it or not. But if God is not real, then the standard that we're using to measure against it doesn't hold up because it's not a real standard.
Couldn't there be an objective morality without the Christian God, though?
Can there be an objective morality without the Christian God? I would argue no, but there are people who argue yes. If you have an argument for it, I would love to hear it.
I mean, like I feel like there are morals objectively because we hold to certain things just because, not for any really like reason. So I feel like
Yeah,
there
so
is.
you just said for not for any real reason. That means it's subjective. Like there
Well,
are
I feel like
there are people who
subjective-
argue that like some sort of like morals exist in the ether, right? But then again, if we're using that to measure it against God, like how do we use it? How do we measure it? How do we know? Because we have to negotiate with that morality.
Yeah.
So for example,
I-
if I just look at it and I just say it's just and you say it's not, where do we go from there?
I really came to just argue for free will, and if I feel like if free will doesn't exist, the Christian God really doesn't either. Because if free will doesn't exist, you're really sending people to hell for things they didn't really choose.
And if that was the case, that's the case. There's nothing you could do about it. It doesn't prove or disprove them.
Well, I suppose, but if you claim God is good and the Bible claims God is good, I feel like.
Yeah,
But again, if
that-
you don't define good,
But
yeah,
you,
I
see,
get
you have this whole issue, right? Like you're predetermined to have this mentality of what good is in the first place. That God is already set up. And so he's just made you to disagree with him to be sent to hell. And that's what he considers is just. And that's just the case it is. It just is. Like, what are you going to do about it?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's kind of just like not the usual way people look at like the Christian God.
That it doesn't matter if it's the usual way, right? There is a Calvinistic version of Christianity. Now, Calvinism does incorporate free will, right? It says that we are in our nature, we're designed to reject God, but we still have free will. And it's only through his irresistible grace that we can accept him, that we're given the ability to do so. But even they might be wrong. And there could be this a hyper version of Calvinism they just haven't realized yet, where it's just none of us actually have free will and God's just using us as play toys.
So then you would concede that God isn't good.
I didn't concede that at all. How the hell
So
did you come to that conclusion?
How do you think he is good though?
Because he is, by definition, what is good. Whatever he is what is good. He is the standard to measure.
Okay. Well, I just feel like regular Christianity can't be true, I guess. If you take some sort of weird version of it, I feel like that's a different religion, but I feel like that can be true.
It's not a different religion.
But
Because that is not an aspect of like the core aspects of salvation to Christianity.
I feel like if you can't choose to like go to heaven or not, like to believe, to repent and all that, I feel like
That's
there's
literally
really-
that type of Christianity exists. It's called Calvinism. It says you can't choose. You have to be given irresistible grace.
then what's the point of even trying to like believe?
I agree with you. I don't agree with Calvinism either, but that is, we would call them Christians. Like it's not even considered full heresy. It was a heresy. It's called a double predestination that was committed in the Council of Orange. It's not an ecumenical council. So it's just something that we disagree about on a tertiary aspect. It's not a salvation issue.
I feel like the only option is Calvinism if free will doesn't exist. And you haven't really shown that free will does exist.
Right. I'm not arguing free will. I'm granting your argument. Free will doesn't exist, doesn't disprove Christianity. Like if all you want to do is have a Phil Bro conversation about free will and determinism, this is not the place.
Okay. But I don't know. My general point is just that regular Christianity can't be true if free will doesn't exist.
So again, there's no regular Christianity. This is not like the regular Christianity is the salvation issue, right?
Yeah.
And the idea of predestination is a tertiary concept that's been debated for a while. For example, Calvinism comes from John Calvin, who got most of his stuff from, what the heck's his name? Church father, starts with an A. Augustine.
Debate host last night. Any thoughts or opinions now that it's over?
No, I have to go back and rewatch it, but thank you for asking because I was too busy hosting that I didn't really focus on the debate. So I got to go back and watch it and think about it.
Is there like a video of that debate? Because I missed that last night.
Yeah, it's on my channel.
Okay. YouTube?
Yeah, don't say the word because TikTok gets
Oh.
mad. But YT and just Big John Steele.
Okay. All right. I feel like if you don't think free will being not true doesn't disprove Christianity, I feel like I really don't have a point.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
All right. Good talk. See ya.
All right. God bless. Do 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 do. I do 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 do. I do 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 do. I do 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 do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Here is more Dono.
Thank you, Mitzrayim. Appreciate you. We do got to get that dono bar up, ladies and gentlemen. We're only at, we're not even at 1/3 of the way there. If we want to keep this channel going, you know what to do. Trying to load up the next guest. What time is it? Agha Abbas. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Agha. All right, appreciate your time. G-Man. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
28. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. All right, there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
All right, so just logically speaking, an all-powerful being, right? How does an all-powerful being exist? I'm just going to argue that point. So, how if?
Okay, so just real quick, how are you defining all-powerful here?
The same way you are.
How's the way I'm doing it?
Omnipotent, omni everything, pretty much, right?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Things in the universe don't affect it, or in existence don't affect it.
Yeah, so I would say it has unbound power. It can do all things within the realms of power.
Okay. So, can it make a rock that it can't? You know, the simple argument, can it make a rock that it can't lift?
Yeah, that's not within the realms of power.
Just, okay. So, can it kill itself? Like you're saying, anything that it does to itself that it cannot do is outside the realm of power.
Yeah, so anything that's a logical contradiction is outside the realms of power because it's not actually metaphysically possible. It's just conceivable.
Okay. That's a good point, I would say. But there are other stuff that I can bring up. For example, historically speaking, right? Like what we gave, what we didn't understand, we said it was created, right, by an all-powerful being, and then slowly we figured out some of those things. So, like for example, rain, clouds, sun, all of those type of things, and then like, don't you think there will be a point in time where we will know everything? If we just think of like to infinity, us learning stuff, there is going to come, because the universe is finite. Do you agree that the universe is finite?
I have no idea.
Well, with our current knowledge, the universe is finite because it had a beginning. If anything had a beginning, it has to be finite, right? Like when your idea is that it was created, right? And like if it was created, it had to have a beginning. Therefore, it has to be finite within its. Do you get what I mean, or do I need to explain more?
Yeah. So our observable universe. We have an observable universe. We don't know what's outside of that observable universe. And we don't know if it's just a universe making machine. We don't know if it's a multi-universe. We don't know if we're just in the aspect of like there's one singularity in space and then ours exploded out and then we could touch into other universes. Like we have no idea.
Of course, but like all of that, like not talking about what we know. It's like it had to have a beginning, whatever does exist, right?
How do we know that?
Because of the arguments you guys make with every cause has to have a
When did I make
action,
that
like
argument?
something. Not you, but like the overall argument for the reason why something has to be finite is that everything has to have a cause, and therefore there had to be the starter cause, right?
So yeah, you're bringing the Kalam cosmological argument. I don't use the Kalam cosmological argument.
So you don't think that the universe is, you don't know if the universe is finite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, then you don't know if it was created or not.
No, I do know.
How do you know if it was created or not if you don't know it's finite?
Yeah, through contingency arguments.
Can you please explain?
No, because that's not my job today. It's your job today to prove atheism.
Well, if we can agree that the universe is finite, and I believe like with the contingency argument, like something had to have caused something, right? Is that the argument? Like it has to have a beginning. Everything has to have a beginning.
No, that's not the argument. Contingency argument, those are contingent things require an explanation. You cannot have a totality of contingent things explaining itself, so therefore you have to have a necessary thing.
Okay, so the necessary thing that caused whatever it is that brought the universe to being, right? Makes the universe a finite thing, because if anything has a beginning,
doesn't.
it has.
I'm not talking about beginning and ends.
Well, I think it's logical to, with the knowledge we have, to
If
say
it's
that it is
logical,
finite.
then you should be able to give it to me in an argument with a justification.
I guess, but okay. Well, let me shift my goalpost a little bit. So I'm just gonna assume that the universe is finite and it had to be created.
No.
Can I do that, or
No.
you don't agree with that?
No, you need to make an argument for it.
Okay, well, I think it's logical
Then give
to
me the
not assume
justification.
things. This is a different argument. Sorry, I think it's logical to not assume we know things that we don't know.
Great. So agnosticism.
Yeah, agnosticism, but
cool. I'm
it's
not
also
arguing against
logical.
agnosticism. Right? Are you saying, if you're saying agnosticism is justified, sure.
I get your point. Like I get, we're not arguing about really anything other than atheism. And I think if something is like, my argument for that is I believe that everything had to have a beginning, so things are finite. And like,
all right, man, I think I'm going to move on because like you just keep going back to that point and asking me to accept it. And I've told you like 3-4 times that you have to make an argument for it. So if you're not willing to make an argument for it, for the sake of time, I'm going to jump on to the next person.
okay, I'll make an argument for it.
Okay.
So the atheist position is that if there was all powerful being, it is not logically possible, because all powerful things are not logical. Like there cannot be an all powerful thing, because for there to be an all powerful thing, it needs to be able to do things that it cannot do, that will force it to do.
Yeah. So you just went back to the first argument that you already agreed that it didn't work. So I appreciate your time, man. God bless. Egha Abbas? CJ, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm 50 years old. First time. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, so there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would kind of argue for both of them. I gotta admit I don't know much about either, but I would say that it would come down to how the person feels and uh how that it would affect their performance in the world.
Yeah, so when I'm saying good, I'm talking about like a rational reason that has a knowledge, a justification,
Like
and a
it's
belief to it. So also you got feedback with me. Where are you? Do you have me playing in the background?
Also, you got feedback with me. Do you have me playing in the background? Yeah, wait a minute. Can I hear you on the phone?
You should be able to, yeah.
Wait a minute. I can't hear you because I'm looking at you on a tablet and I'm talking through a phone.
Yeah, if you can't hear me on the phone, then you gotta set up your audio properly. So we'll have to try again. But I appreciate your time, man. Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about, Jordan. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 43. Is
All
my
right.
sound okay?
Yeah. All right. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, my sound cut out. I'm going to change from my headset to my phone.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm here.
Great.
Yeah,
Sounds way better.
Good. Yeah, so good reason to be an atheist or Muslim is the only actual reason. It's if you're born in a Muslim culture or in an atheist society and have an atheist family or a Muslim family, which is the same reason why you would be a Christian.
Great. So I'm sure if you said that you were born in a community of serial unalivers, that's not a good reason to be a serial unaliver.
Why not?
Yeah, because there's no rational justification for it.
It would be rational if everyone's doing it, then it's rational to act the same way as everyone else.
So it might be a good reason to pretend, but it's not a good reason to hold it to be true.
Well, why do you think who would not? Who would go against if the whole society, everyone is killing people?
Yeah. So what you're doing, is called an ad populum fallacy.
Yeah, but it's still a valid question.
Well, it's not because it's a fallacious question by nature.
No, it's not. It's about an actual question of, do you believe that a person born into a society where it was normal to kill others and everybody else...
You got to say unalive.
Sorry, unalive, sorry. Why would you not do the same as everyone else?
Yeah, because you don't have a rational justification for it.
You don't have a rational justification to be a Muslim or a Christian either.
Yeah, my argument is you don't have a rational justification to be Muslim or atheist.
Or Christian.
Yeah, I think we do have a rational reason to be Christian, but that's not the topic today. And what you're trying to do is trying to burden shift.
Okay. Well, no, yeah. For me, it's the same. Muslim, atheist actually is rational since it's only a rejection of belief.
Okay, so what is atheism?
A rejection of belief in a God.
Great. So does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
I don't know, but probably no.
Well, you can't pick both. That's a law of non-contradiction. So it's yes, no, or I don't know which one.
To be more clear, Jehovah doesn't exist. No.
Okay, that's not the question I'm asking you. Stop changing the question or adding parameters to it. The question I'm asking you is the God what I'm talking about is an unbound being. Does that being exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
No.
No, it does not exist. Okay, give me a justification for that.
There's no reason to believe that it does.
So there's no reason to believe that it does. So basically, you're saying things do not exist until they're proven to exist.
There's no reason to believe that they do until we have any evidence for it.
Yeah. So you're saying things do not exist until they're proven to exist.
That doesn't matter if they exist or not. What matters is if we believe in them or not, because that's the question, right?
Yeah. So when we're talking about a rationality, belief is an aspect of the rationality. You have a belief, knowledge, and justification. So if we're saying this is a justified reason, not just a belief, you're justifying it. You're justifying your no. You cannot use just belief. So if you're saying it's justified, then you have to say that things do not exist until they are proven to exist.
No, that's not true, because you need to have things can exist and you cannot know about the reasons or the evidence, and you can believe that they don't exist. And then when you hear
Right,
the evidence...
So again, you're using the word belief. That's one pillar of a justification. So to be a justified, you need a belief, knowledge, and a justification. So for something to be justified, you need all three of those pillars. If not, it's irrational. So I'm not talking about your belief. I'm not talking about your mental state. I'm talking about whether it's rational to say it's true.
Yeah, and unless you have evidence, you don't have knowledge, right?
Right. So what is your justification for saying there is no God?
Because we don't have knowledge that there is a
Okay,
God.
so then your logical conclusion is that they do not exist until proven to exist.
Yes.
Okay, so if that's the case, quantum mechanics didn't exist until proven to exist. Pluto didn't exist until proven to exist. Snakehead fish didn't exist until proven to exist. Animals that live towards volcanic waters didn't exist until proven to exist. None of these things actually existed until proven to exist. And I think that's irrational viewpoint to hold to, because that breaks the law of non-contradiction.
That would be irrational, but that's, of course, not what I said.
That is what
Quantum
you said.
mechanics have always existed. We discovered them. We didn't make them up.
Right, but
We
you
discovered
said the
something that's
person,
always
you said things do not exist until proven to exist.
Yeah. And no, you said that. I didn't say that.
That's the
You
logical
said-
conclusion
wait,
based off what you're saying.
No,
And then you
that's
agreed
your
with me. You
logical-
said yes.
No. Yes. We should not believe that this exists. And you talk about
Okay,
justification.
so a
but there's
belief
no
is not
reason-
a justified viewpoint. We're going full circle 5 times here. I don't care about your mental state. I don't care about what you believe. I'm talking about a justification. What is the justification?
Religion is belief. It's nothing else.
Completely irrelevant to the question I asked you, isn't it?
The question is about atheism, right?
So what is the justification for
It's a
atheism to
lack
be
of-
true?
Atheism isn't a lack of justification or a rejection of justification. It's a lack
then
of
give me.
belief.
So then you're telling me, by definition, that you do not have a justification for atheism. So therefore, it's irrational.
Of course I don't. I just told you.
So you admit atheism is irrational.
No.
Okay, then give me the justification.
It's just a rejection of a belief in a certain
Okay,
God.
so watch how we're going to go full circle again. You're just
No,
saying
it's not
I
full
reject
circle.
it. I
No,
reject
no,
it. Hold
no,
on. You're just
it's
saying I
not.
reject it. You're just giving me your head state knowledge. You reject it. Great. So 1,000 years ago, before we knew quantum mechanics, you rejected it because you weren't given sufficient evidence. So therefore, you would have to say quantum mechanics didn't exist. You'd say you'd be justified. There's a justification to say it does not exist, even though it did.
Yeah, great. And here's where you're getting caught up. That is not a logical argument.
It literally is a logical argument. Yes.
No. This point that you're making is not a logical argument. You're saying that if we can't prove something, it's a
Give me the 3 laws of logic.
I don't know your 3 laws of logic.
Not my 3 laws of logic, the 3 laws of logic, the Aristotelian 3 laws of logic. What are they? Because you said it's not a logical argument, so you should know them.
That's not the subject we're talking about right now. We're
sorry,
talking
what?
about that you got confused about a statement that you're making, and you're trying to ascribe.
When you say it's not logical, what are you using to define logic?
That's not even part of the discussion here.
You said
What
it
you're
wasn't
saying is that-
logical, so you should be able to tell me what logic is. If you could tell me I did not give a logical argument, you should be able to define what logic is.
Well, basically, logic is mathematical thinking. It's structured thinking, and you can prove and show the results of your thinking.
Yes.
And you're
Mathematics
taking a good
mathematics
leap there.
starts on right. It's the basis of mathematics starts on logic, but you have to have logic before that. So what is logical thinking? What is logic?
You're deviating really far away from the point here.
It's not deviating apart from the point, because I made an argument. I showed you an argument that is analogous to each other, and you said it's not logical. So if you want to do it mathematically, you need to show me what is P and not P between my arguments.
Okay. So what you're saying is that if we don't have knowledge about something, it doesn't exist.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to ascribe to me.
That is what
and
you're
what
saying.
I'm saying is that no, it's not. Because we didn't have knowledge of quantum mechanics.
Does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
As your definition as an omnipotent being, no.
Okay, no. Give me a justification for that.
There is no evidence for it.
Okay, so the only reason, hold on. So the only reason that you're saying it doesn't exist is because it has not been proven to exist yet, yes?
And if it is proven to exist...
Wait, just answer the question. Just answer the question. The only reason you're saying it doesn't exist is because it has not been proven to exist yet, right?
Yes, and if it becomes proven to exist,
so hold on. So quantum mechanics, the only reason people would have... Let me finish.
Right.
Let me finish. Quantum mechanics, we'd have to say did not exist because it had yet to be proven it exists.
Okay, you're caught up on this, and you can't see that it makes no sense. Like
your standard of saying something exists is it has not been proven to exist yet. So therefore,
no, your standard.
I just asked you. I just asked you, you silly goose. I literally asked you, and you said yes. Okay, watch. We'll do it again, you silly goose. Pay attention. Focus. Write it down. Get a pen and paper so that you can actually follow. So hold on. We're going to start at beginning again. Now I really want you to focus. How this is your argument, not mine.
I understand your
no, you don't. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. You don't understand. Let's try again. Let's try again. Right? So here's what's going to happen. We're going to go through it again. I'm going to move on to the next person because I'm not interested in wasting my time with you. So are you willing to go through it again? Yes or no? Are you willing to go through it again? Yes or no?
You're just avoiding the argument.
Are you willing to go through it again? Yes or no? Are you willing to go through it again? Yes or no?
Of course not. You're trying to escape.
Okay, then I appreciate your time. God bless. Have yourself a great day.
You're not making sense. Belief. That's what it's about.
The silliest goose we spoke to today. It's a simple argument. If thing not exist, thing no exist until proven to exist, then therefore everything that had not been proven to exist did not exist. See how that works? Mar, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. How old are you?
I am, 30.
All right, man. You said that with such despair. Listen, 30 is not that bad. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to be very honest, I think you and I are on the same page when it comes to the existence of God. So I myself am a Muslim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm waiting for you to make your argument.
Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to the existence or coherence of God's nature, normally in Islam, we consider that God is absolutely one, eternal. He's self-sufficient. He's unchanging. And in Christianity, God is one essence, but three persons, sort of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Now, please do enlighten me. When it comes to the rational issue related to this concept alone, a being that is one and three in the same essence involves internal distinction.
Mar, listen. No. What's the topic? What does it say when you came up?
Pardon?
What is the topic?
The topic is the rationality behind Islam.
Nope. Read the title. The title you had to read before you clicked the link. What did it say?
There is no reason to believe.
No, try again. Come on, man. Listen, I know reading comprehension skills and Muslims don't get along well. So what did it say?
Hold on. You said there's no reason.
Not what did I said. What does the title say? What does the title say?
Hold on, bro. I'm just gonna.
It's literally on your screen. It's in front of you, between your two eyes, right there, scrolling at the bottom.
There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim.
Great. So why are you asking me about Christianity?
No, I'm giving you the reason because see, whenever you talk about Islam, there is a comparison being drawn because Islam came after Christianity, isn't it?
So again, why are you asking me questions about Christianity?
No, I'm not asking you the
You
question
did.
about
You said,
Christianity.
I'm going to ask you a question, and you're talking about the triune God. Why are you doing that?
Because I want to raise a rational issue. See, because you talk about
With
rationality and
Christianity.
justification.
With Christianity. You shouldn't
Yeah,
have to bring up
and-
Christianity. Just defend Islam. Why is Islam true?
Look, because Islam's understanding of God, the Tawheed, is philosophically simpler and free of contradiction. A rational God must be absolutely one in essence and person. That's exactly how he's defined in the Quran.
Okay, then I'll be a Jew.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter because the Tawheed of God being one. Now, when it comes to being Jewish, so let's say you say that being a Jewish justifies the existence of just one God.
I could be a Jew. I could be a Unitarian. I could be a Mormon. I could be part of what is it called? The not the LDS, but the other guys that we always get mixed up. Anyways, I could be any part of those guys. I could pick from a plethora of religions that just have this one singular idea of God. Why does it have to be Islam?
So it's also related to the existence and the verification of the text as well. You have to look at the logical coherence of its theology. And Islam is not just, it doesn't say that Judaism or the earliest Jewish, they're wrong. You can't be a Muslim unless...
I'm still waiting for the argument for Muslim, man. Why should I be a Muslim? What's the argument?
Because the Quran is a direct verbal revelation and it confirms the earlier prophets and corrects the textual distortions.
Great. How do you know that?
Pardon?
How do you know that to be true?
Because it's historically true. You can confirm that through what? What is the most concrete evidence for it? And that is the Quran.
I've read the Quran, and now you're just telling me to confirm it, but you're the one trying to make the argument, so you make the argument.
Have you read it cover to cover?
Yes.
So what's your argument against the...
So you're saying I'm right until you prove me wrong?
Islam? Pardon?
So you're saying I'm right until you prove me wrong? That's your argument?
Nope.
Okay. So what is your argument for Islam?
My argument for Islam is that God's guidance is universal. And to be very honest...
That is what you believe. Why should I believe it?
I'm just explaining it.
Yeah, I don't care what you believe. I know what Muslims believe. I've heard it a million times because I've asked this question 1,000 times to 1,000 different Muslims, and they all give the same answer. The answer they never give me is why I should believe what you believe. I'm not asking for what, I'm asking for a why.
There's another one thing. So if you claim that you've read Quran, you may have also read about Surah Al-Kafirun, which is you believe what you believe, and I believe what I believe. Have you read it?
I've read the entire Quran. I don't remember that.
Exactly. You have read without the comprehension, so you cannot claim that you've read it
you have the... Okay, hold on. If that's the case, tell me exactly what 9:123 says, just from your memory. Ready? Go. 3,
Listen,
2,
I'm
1.
not a Hafiz.
Oh,
though.
you didn't do
I'm
that.
not a
Okay, let's
Hafiz.
try another one. Okay,
But
tell me
hold
what
on,
35:1 says.
9:123. Hold on.
35:1. No. Hold on. Now you're looking it up. So what does 35:1 say? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Are you
too late.
mentioning
Okay, so
Surah Tawbah?
let's go to...
Are you mentioning Surah Tawbah, bro?
Let's go chapter 13, verse 5. The thunder, verse 5. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All crazy. You've never read the Quran. Wow, that's insane.
No, I have read the Quran, but I haven't memorized it.
Neither have I.
If you ask me,
And so you brought up a verse I didn't have memorized. Hold on, Linda. You brought up a verse I didn't have memorized. And then you were kind of making this claim like I didn't read it properly or I have open comprehension skills. Like you also don't have a whole bunch of things memorized.
Hold on, bro. Listen. See, because when you mention, for example, Surah Tawbah, like fight all disbelievers. You mentioned it. It's a pretty famous argument against Islam. You're talking about the military verse in Quran.
That's not the verse I brought up.
Yeah, that's the verse you brought up, Surah Tawbah. That's the verse that you brought up.
No, it wasn't.
Yep.
No. I just picked a random one. I just opened it and picked a random one. I don't even remember which one I picked.
You picked 9, 1, 2, 3.
9, 1, 2. I don't think I did.
Yes, you did.
Chad, did I pick that? Maybe I did.
Yeah, it's Surah Tawbah, which is fight disbelievers around you and let them find firmness in you. You're literally bringing up the
Chad,
verses.
did I bring up that verse?
Which were brought down during the time of
9, 1,
war.
but it was random. Okay, I brought up 9, 1, 2, 3, but it was random. I'm just picking things at random. You're missing my rhetorical goal here. What is my rhetorical goal? My rhetorical goal isn't to get you to explain these verses.
See, listen, bro. I totally understand the notion behind sitting in front of the camera.
Answer my question. What was my no, Linda, you're muted because you're going to answer the question, and then you can make whatever statement you want, but you're going to answer the question first. What was my retort? No, you're still going. I'm not going to unmute you until you stop talking. He's still talking. He's still talking. I can see it going. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. No. Here's what's going to happen next. You're going to answer my question. And then after you're done actually answering my question, I promise you, I'll give you the stage and let you speak. And you'll say whatever you want for however long you want. But you're going to answer my question first. That's the deal. So when I unmute you, you're not going to say anything. I'm going to ask my question. You're going to answer it. That's good faith. You ready? Okay. So my question is, what was my rhetorical goal for opening up the verses and reading them to you?
Listen. If let's say
hey, listen. You're going to answer that question. If you don't, I'm going to kick you. You ready? You're still talking. I have you muted. I have you muted. You ready? You're still going. Stop talking. I'll unmute you, and then you're going to answer the question directly. And I'm going to be fair with this. I promise you, if you answer the question directly, he left on his own. Anyways, I was going to say, if I promise you, if you answer the question directly, I'll give you the stage and I'll let you speak, because I don't like the idea of not letting people speak. I want to give people a platform to speak and say the things that they have to say, but they have to do it fairly. Aleph, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 35. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. You don't need to have your camera on because I'm not going to bring you up, just to let you know, but it's up to you.
Okay.
I also don't know how you got your camera on because I have it set that you shouldn't be able to. So that's very impressive that you did that. But anyways, man.
It's an available option. It's just on the app.
I have it clicked off. That's weird. Anyway, so there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I would go with, so anytime anybody brings up a fallacious reasoning or an extraordinary claim, it is fair to reject that. In fact, you use, quantum mechanics, right? In most science things, when you discover something or you say something is true, other scientists reject it until it's repeatable. They don't just accept it or say it's possible. They flat out reject a lot of stuff that people make, especially when you're making an extraordinary claim.
Can you define extraordinary claim for me?
Extraordinary claim, I would say something that we have never known to exist at all anywhere ever. So I'll give you an example if you want.
Okay, so isn't that going to be subjective?
Can I give you my example and then we can see if it's subjective? Because I don't know. I can give you my example and then
Yeah, but I just say like an extraordinary claim is something that is not known. Well, there are things that are not known to me but are known to other people.
Well, so what I mean is, for example, we know dogs exist, right? There's no ambiguity about dogs, but it's extraordinary to suggest that Clifford the big red dog exists. So I don't have to
Yeah, I
do
reject.
if they can't.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I reject extraordinary claims. I reject that term. I think they're just claims, and then there are justifications for those claims.
Yeah, so there should be a difference between an extraordinary claim versus a regular claim because someone can make a claim. Someone can say that they just got a dog for free. That's not an extraordinary claim. But if someone said they got Clifford the big red dog, we've never known a dog.
You're giving me examples, not like a definition.
No, I'm saying that is the best way I can define it for you is with that example. I would have to look up the definition for that.
Yeah, so again, you're just kind of like leaning onto like an intuition pump, and I think when we're looking at things and like doing like probabilities in this case, it becomes really problematic because it's like, how do we measure a probability? How many people have to know? How many people have to consider it ordinary, right? For example, for me, maybe I've never seen a dog before, so a dog would be an extraordinary claim to me, but to the populace, it wouldn't.
Sure, but to the people who know dogs, Clifford would be an extraordinary claim. So Clifford is an extraordinary claim to no matter who you are.
Yeah, but
including
that's irrelevant to what I said though. What I'm saying is an extraordinary claim is a purely subjective opinion. That's just a mental state. It's not a consistent definition.
Well, I can look up the definition for you, or well, for us, because I think I need it, not you, because it is my position. Very unusual or remarkable.
Yeah, so something that is unusual or remarkable is going to be subjective. So, for example, people in Africa seeing snow is going to be very unusual to them.
Sure. I'm not gonna hold you down on that. I can see that we're not gonna come to an agreement on that. I kind of think I think my example is really clear. I would go with another position because I don't want to go back and forth on something we won't be able to find common ground on. With all religions, why would I believe in any one particular religion? Like I'm rejecting all gods because all religions.
What's the topic? What did the topic say when you clicked it?
Yeah, there's no good reason to be an atheist. I'm an atheist towards religion.
Yeah, so you're asking for me to assume your default position and argue against it.
That wasn't a direct question. I'm sorry about that. I was speaking in the ethos there. I'm sorry, there was no confusion. Religions have existed and they've all been made up. Why would I believe?
Well, that's begging the question.
That is begging the question.
How do you know they're all made up?
Because we don't believe in any of them. Like, we don't even have to go that far back to like original religions. We can go back as recent as
that's just a mental state.
Roman gods.
That's just a mental state. Whether what you believe or what we believe or what all of us believe is completely irrelevant to what is true. Yes,
it is compared to what is true, but you still can't say. You said there's no good reason. Mm-hmm. A good reason to be an atheist is I don't have a good reason to be convinced of the thing. Like no one has made a good argument for their claims.
Right. So you're assuming atheism is the default then.
I think everyone thinks atheist is the default. I think you're atheist towards other default positions.
That's not what atheism means. Atheism, it can't be towards a specific position. It encapsulates the totality of the idea that there is no God. Atheism. Theism, the claim that there is a God. The lack of a God.
Sure. I already heard you tell somebody they brought up anti-theism. I agree with that person with anti-theism versus atheist. But I agree with you. For this argument, atheist is the disbelief in God or gods.
Right. So why should I assume that's the default?
Because you don't believe in invisible unicorns who are kicking me in the groin just because I make the claim. And then when I make the claim to you that, oh, the reason I'm hurting in my stomach is because I got an invisible unicorns that don't leave footprints behind or anything, that you somehow are going to be like, it's not that I don't believe you. It's just
So
you could be right.
I can argue against the invisible unicorn thing because I can present a hypothesis that has better explanatory power. So, for example, if you have stomach issues, I can look at things like, well, do you have a galactic acid buildup? I'm not sure if I'm saying that word. So do you have like an acid buildup in your stomach, right? And then I could put that data on the table and I could say, well, this hypothesis explains the data better than invisible unicorns. So I could say it's not as likely that there's been invisible unicorns. So I say the probability is towards the acid in your stomach. So I'd have a justification to say that what you're saying is false.
Yeah, I do that with Christianity. I do the same thing. So I come to those justifications because I look at the world. If the God of the Bible was real, I know you're not arguing Christianity. I'm not trying to get you to. If the God of the Bible was real, I look at what the Bible says, and then I just match that up with reality, and it doesn't match with reality. But neither does any other religion match up with reality.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a religion. I'm talking about an unbound being.
Explain that. I'm sorry.
So just a being that is not bound by the aspects of power.
Yeah, like I don't. You're not talking about a religion. You're not Christian.
I am a Christian, but that's not what I'm talking about, right? What I'm asking for is for atheists or Muslims to justify their belief. Because what seems to happen is that they just assume in both of these cases, they assume they're the default. And if they could disprove Christianity or they could disprove certain religions, then you should be their thing. That's something that atheists and Muslims do notoriously all the time. I've had thousands of debates with both probably at this point. So what I'm saying is, instead of always trying to say, hey, Christians, you're false, why don't you guys actually justify your position?
Right. So I would agree with you against Muslims because I talk to Muslims, not as many Christians as I have Muslims. But I would agree with you on Muslims because one of their claims is I should read the Quran before I say it's not real. And I disagree with that notion. But specifically with you, a supreme being that exists, that supreme being, you're just like you're trying to demonstrate deism on some being that exists that you, like if you're making a claim, no matter the claim, I'm not going to say just because you presented some claim to me that now that claim is possible no matter the claim.
Well, you're presenting a claim to me as well. You're saying that being doesn't exist. That's a claim.
Because I'm rejecting your claim that it does. Like
but you're saying, hold on, I'm going to stop you because now you're saying you're the default. Why should I assume you're the default?
Because you also hold it as the default as well. You don't just take on other people's positions.
Everybody keeps assuming my mental state. No, I don't. My default is agnosticism.
Your default is agnosticism. So you use agnosticism the way people modernly use it. So you disbelieve, you lack belief in a God or God.
That's not what agnosticism. Agnosticism is that you do not know or it cannot be known.
Right. Okay. So you do not know or you cannot be known. But they threw on the end a person who neither lacks belief or no person who neither claims nor disbelieves in a God or God. Something like that. What I'm saying is that when it comes down to other things, like with what you just did with the unicorn, you just said you can look at all these different things. All I'm saying is that I do the exact same thing with, for example,
great. So then present to me a hypothesis that says that a universe without an unbound being is more likely than a universe that with an unbound being.
I can't do it for an unbound being because I don't have any criteria for what that unbound being is. The claim about its powers and its abilities, I don't know. It's like I can't demonstrate at all that Dr. Manhattan isn't real, but the argument isn't for Dr. Manhattan.
I can actually demonstrate why we think Dr. Manhattan isn't real is because we know the author of Dr. Manhattan and we know that he said he made him up. That's a justification that he's not real.
I'm saying if DC wasn't a comic book. I'm saying if someone came to me and they gave me the attributes for some being, and there's very limited information about him, with the exception of just his powers and his abilities.
So this would be a being. So this would be a being with a mind that has the omni properties.
Yeah, like you can't demonstrate that not to be real. You would have to be agnostic towards that. Like the way you're using agnostic, you'd have to be that.
No, I actually have a reason to justify that. But again, I'm not the one on trial here. Atheism is on trial.
No, I don't. Again, I wouldn't reject that because there's no way to reject it. I would say I don't know.
So agnosticism is great. I agree with you. Agnosticism is a great position.
For that, but not for something specific like Christianity, because Christianity isn't that. What you just described.
Christianity is not on trial, is it? Atheism is on trial.
Atheist. So what I'm saying is that I can be atheist towards multiple things, right?
No, you
so
can't.
I'm agreeing.
That's not the definition of atheism. Atheism is to say there is no God. That is a specific position. It's not towards multiple things. If you say that the Zeus God exists, but Poseidon doesn't exist, that's not atheism.
So you're saying that you can't believe in Hinduism and think that Yahweh is fake.
You can, but that's not atheism. That's still theism.
What would that be? Would you not be atheist towards?
That's not atheist. Atheist is not a word used towards a specific God to say that specific God doesn't exist. Sorry. Atheism is a word that says no God exists.
No, it says God or gods. The definition you're using is
God or gods.
God or God.
Right. So either that's monotheism and henotheism. It's still theism.
So what would you call a person that is Hinduist, or who is a Hindu?
Yeah.
Who utterly rejects Christianity?
Theist.
They're not a theist towards Christianity, though.
Yes, they're not. They're a theist. Theist is the term to believe in a god or gods. And then that's an umbrella term. And then there are different types of theists.
No, so what I'm saying is that they're theists towards one position versus another position.
You can't be theist towards one position and not another position, right? Theism is the belief in a god or gods. Like, this is a ridiculous argument, my friend. So theism is a belief from God. Hold on. Theism is a belief towards gods or gods. That's an umbrella term. Then you have different ideas of what that God is. That's how we negotiate with that word. Atheism is the disbelief in a gods or gods. It's not towards a specific God. If you say you're atheist, you're saying there's no God whatsoever. If you're saying you're a theist, then you are a god. Then we ask the question, well, what type of God or gods is that? Hindus are going to have different answers. Christians are going to have different answers. A Christian is an atheist towards a Hindu god. They're a theist. Like, you would never say to a Christian, you're an atheist. They're a theist.
Yes, I would. I say it all the time.
You're just wrong.
No, I'm right. I tell them that you're an atheist.
Can you give me one philosopher that uses that definition?
Everyone uses that definition that way. I can't give you the example of someone who's described it that way yet because I don't know it off the top of my head.
No, nobody. But okay, chat. Do any of you guys in the chat use the definition that way?
I mean, it's not. You're saying I can't believe that. So what was the thing that you gave?
You got a whole bunch of no's. You got a whole bunch of no's and one or two yeses. So most people are saying no.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yays on here.
Do you want me to count the no's? Do you want me to count the no's?
No.
Do you want me to count the no's?
I don't mind being the only person turned in the opposite direction in the elevator. So it wouldn't bother me.
Okay, so then you're just making up words and definitions.
No, I'm not, because there's plenty of people who agree. You can't just reject seven people now.
If the actual definition is on my side and then the philosophical definition is on my side, why should I take your definition?
How could they be on your side when there's a lot of people there? There's more than one person. There's more than 3. There's more than 4.
Do you want me to count the no's? There's not 7 or 8. You're lying.
No,
I was counting them.
No, I'm saying. No, hang on. I'm saying there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6. There's 6. So I eyeballed it the first time, but I'm looking at 6.
Do you want me to count the no's?
No, what I'm saying is that you're either just gonna say it's whatever is popular, then it's on your side. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a general consensus. I have the consensus amongst people who are professionals.
Which is popular.
That's not popular.
These people aren't professional. This is your chat.
I
Your
also
chat is
have
not-
philosophy on my side. So for example, the Stanford of Encyclopedia of Philosophy agrees with my definitions. Because that's where I got my definition.
And your definition says that you can't have multiple theistical positions, and if you accept one of those many theistical
Theism,
positions,
to believe in a god or gods. Atheism,
again,
to not believe in a gods or gods. It's not theism. It's not theism to believe in a specific god. That's not the definition. This is insane.
Wow. No, it's amazing because this is the first time I'm hearing it, and I watch you a lot. This is the first time I'm hearing this. So go back to I'm not gonna hold on. I'm not gonna hold down on that because I can see that we're not gonna agree on that. What was the God that you said first? Give me that again. I can't remember.
The only god that I'm bringing up is the omniproperty God that has a mind.
That God. That's the God I'm talking about. So the omniproperty God. So I have to prove my atheist position against that with no other information about it. That seems that doesn't seem like it's possible.
Great, then claim agnosticism.
No, because it seems like the position you just gave me is something that is it's non-falsifiable in the way you defined it.
1 second.
It's not even falsified. It's not a
Caller, I offer
position.
you the
I'm sorry.
prize. You win. You are in fact the silliest goose. No goose compares. You stand alone. I am atheist to all other silly gooses.
All right. So, it's not falsifiable because all you have to do, it is falsifiable because all you have to do is present a hypothesis that this being is not the likely explanation for the universe. You have to give me a hypothesis that explains the data better.
You're putting it outside. You're putting it outside the ramifications of being able to do that.
No, I'm not.
You are. Like,
no, I'm not. There's
how would
atheists
you-
that do it all the time.
I have yet to meet an atheist that so there are atheists that demonstrate with a hypothesis that position is wrong.
Yeah, we literally had a debate last night on my channel between if God is coherent, where an atheist made an argument on why it's not coherent, why it doesn't make sense. And he's a professional philosopher. And that was for 2 hours they had that conversation, and he argued his positive positions.
Okay. I have not heard this the way you argue it. I have not heard it this way. I will have to go and do some more research. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have this topic again and I can come on again.
I will. Don't worry, man. You're a good interlocutor, good conversation. So God bless you, man. Have yourself a great day.
You too. I highly appreciate it. You too. Have a good one.
Time we got here. We still got time. That dono bar is looking pretty empty, guys. Looking pretty empty. If you want to keep this channel going, we got to up that number, right? That's how, listen, we're giving you entertainment and it requires, we got funding, we got camera expenses, light expenses, equipment expenses. We got to pay the bills to keep the house going. We got to feed the wife. We got to do these types of things. So if you want to keep this channel going, you want your entertainment. Even if you disagree with me, you're still watching. You still got your entertainment. We got to keep the family fed. We got to feed Bert. So we got to get that dono bar upgraded. We got to get those numbers up. Got to get those numbers up, ladies and gentlemen. And we can't rely just on these few people that do it. There's a lot of you guys that watch. If everybody gave $1, we'd be set. Your grift attempt was successful. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Speaking of which, let's do some supers. John, please do a debate on why Arc Raiders is a bad game. I will cook you and win the taco. I think it's a good game. Are you saying it's a bad game? I like the game. Donabar is looking real low, you plebeians. You're not wrong. Showing love to the best Mormon Shia Calvinist apologist. That is me. You're not mistaken. W debate host last night. Any thoughts on my opinion? We went over this, but yeah, definitely go watch that debate, ladies and gentlemen. It was pretty good. That was for the Donabar. Thank you for the donation, Bobo. We appreciate you. Small Donabar today. Can we have a Striker co-host for the last hour? We will get Striker co-hosting. We can't do it Friday because I got a co-host. Why don't we pick a day next week and we'll do a topic I know he knows. And that way we'll see how he does. And then if he does good on that, we could do different topics. So message me, Striker, and we will set it up for sure. I don't condone what the chat says on my behalf. That's funny. That came right after that. This is for the goal, John. Also, thoughts on the conundrum with David Wood, AP, and Sam Shamoon. I don't know the conundrum between those three, but David Wood saying what he said is pretty crazy. And yeah, we condemn him for doing that, but he also condemns himself for doing that. I don't know how to wrestle with that or how I feel about that. So pretty messed up. Thank you so much, Mitzrayim. That was funny. Feed the dono. Appreciate you. Feed the dono bar. The dono bar keeps the channel going. I can do most things that are not heavily filled, bro. I know. Is seeing Dodo today supernatural? It would be extraordinary. True. King, thank you, guys. Very generous. All right, let's bring up one more guest. I think we have time for one more. Make sure you're smashing the like button, sharing the live, guys. Let's keep going. I can hear my wife listening to me. She's I don't know what she's doing, but I can hear the phone going. I can hear my voice doubling back on me. Are we not getting a guest? Oh, there we are. Maria.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 23.
All right. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Christian, but my family unfortunately is not. But their biggest argument is the problem of evil. So if God is good, why does XYZ bad thing? I don't want to get your life canceled, but like we all kind of know wars, unaliving.
Let me just
that
recommend
stuff.
you a book. Just one second. I want you to read the book Animal Suffering and the Darwinian Problem of Evil by John Snyder.
All right.
And that should help you.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. What did David Wood say? I'm not a gossiper, so you'll have to just go watch his live on it. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it. So, Jay, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm good. My name's Jay. I'm 25. How you doing?
Good, man. All right, there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Can we define atheism?
Yeah, atheism is the statement that there is no God or gods.
Okay. I mean, my position is that I feel like there's no good reason to believe in any religion, so I guess that would be atheism.
So why is atheism the default?
I just feel like just throughout life, there's just not really any evidence or proof that there is a God.
Okay, so watch this. Throughout life, I don't think there's any evidence or proof that there is no God.
Okay, I got you. Could I ask? No, I guess that's my burden. Damn, you kind of got me there, didn't you? Damn, I don't really have an argument for that counter argument.
W. All right, man. Was there anything else then?
Nah, I don't really have anything else.
All right, bro.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Have a
God
good one.
bless. You too. W guest. Dave Smith, you don't have a mic connected. All right, appreciate you. Kevin, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How old are you?
Oh wait, no, I can't hear you now. What the heck? Oh, here, I can do this. Okay, sorry, can you try again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
All right, man. How old are you again?
35.
All right, there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we can pick up off of where you left off with the last guest. You said, right, he said that there's no good reason to believe in gods, right? He doesn't have any evidence for that. And then you said there's no real reason or evidence to believe in no gods, right? But that lands you in agnosticism, right? Not Christianity.
What? How does that land me in Christianity? I'm just using his argument against, so it's not my position, right? I think agnosticism is a valid position. I don't think atheism is a valid position. I'm looking for a justification for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would disagree with your definition of atheism, right?
Okay, so it's very simple. Does God exist? Yes, I don't know, or no.
Yeah, atheism is the lack of...
That's not what I asked you. What's the question I asked you?
You can repeat the question, but I'm saying I'm saying that I disagree with your definition of atheism.
That's great. So the question I asked you, though, is does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Like my personal belief?
Yes. Does God exist? Does God not exist? Or you don't know if God exists?
I mean, yeah. I mean, in your definition, I would say
not asking my definition. Just the answer, please.
I can't know. That's what I'll say.
So you do not know if God exists.
Yeah, I don't believe in God. I'll say.
Not what I asked you. Does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
I said I don't know.
Great.
But I can also say that I don't. Right.
Not interested in your belief state. Not interested in your head state. I'm asking about a justification. Right? I could believe that there's $1 million in my bank account. That's great, but I'm asking for a justification for it. Right? So show me a bank statement, for example, would be a justification. So you don't know if God exists, so therefore you are agnostic.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I mean, like, I am agnostic, but I would disagree that I'm not atheist.
Okay, so then give me a justification for atheism.
No, I disagree with your definition of atheism.
What is the categorical difference between agnosticism and atheism then?
One is talking about whether or not it can be known. The other is talking about whether or not you believe in it.
So again, known is not can be known. That's part of the definition. It either is not, or you don't know it, or it cannot be known. So that's part of it. I agree with that. And the other one you're saying is a belief state. So if you're saying it's only a belief state and there's no justification for it, then it's irrational.
No, I mean, belief states aren't irrational, right? Like you can.
Yes, they are.
I mean, so you're saying believing in Christianity is irrational?
If all you have is a belief state, yes. If you have a justification, no.
So what is my justification for atheism is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
In terms of a lack of belief in it. I would say that it's interesting because like the way you put up your prompt, right? There's no good reason to believe in a Muslim or an atheist, right? What you're really doing is shifting the burden of proof here, right?
And how am I doing that?
Well, it's not really a lack of belief is not really a belief state, right?
A lack of belief is not a belief state? You want to try that again?
Yeah, a negative. It's a negative.
So if a belief state, either you believe or do not believe. So if you do not believe, that's a belief state.
No, it's the absence of belief.
That's a belief state. You're either in a state of belief or not in a state of belief. That's a belief state.
I wouldn't call I wouldn't call that a belief state. What I would say is that you lack belief.
Okay,
and I'm saying
justify it.
Justify my lack of belief?
Yes.
Just justify your lack of belief that there's not a pink elephant on the moon, on the dark side of the moon.
I don't know if there is. I
Yeah,
have
but you have no
reasons. I
evidence,
have reasons to deny it because I know how elephants work. I know the color of elephants. I know the probability of getting a pink elephant. I know the probability of an elephant being able to survive on the moon. So I can actually make a case why that's not likely. But at the end of the day, I'd have to say ultimately I don't know, because you're going to add a whole bunch of categories of this elephant that makes it no longer an elephant.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? Like with God, right? I can't know for a fact that God doesn't exist.
Great. So
But
you're
what I can
agnostic.
do, it's also atheism. I lack a belief in God.
Justify that belief.
There's no good evidence to believe in God.
Okay. So you're just stating that it does not exist until it's proven to exist.
Yeah.
Right. So then
I mean,
quantum
no,
mechanics at one
Sorry,
point didn't
I'm sorry.
exist.
I'm sorry. Let me walk that back. Things can exist, right?
Uh-huh.
Before you believe them to exist, right? But there's not a good reason to believe in things until you have the evidence for them.
What? I'm not saying you should believe in God. I'm saying make a case for atheism.
Make a case for the lack of belief in God. You'd have to. What I would say is that.
Give me a justification
someone
for
would-
it. Watch, I lack the belief that there is not a God. Now what?
The burden of proof is to prove that there's a God.
I lack the belief that there is no God, and the burden of proof is on the person making a claim.
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm saying, right? God is the claim.
No, a claim is a claim.
It's a negative, though, right? Like if you lack belief, it's on the burden of
Yes.
the individual. Like if you were in court, right?
Yes, claims, you could still prove negatives. You know that, right? Please tell me you know that.
Okay.
So if you make a claim, like for example, if you make the claim that I don't live in the house I live in, you'd have to make the burden of proof. Or you make the claim that Donald Trump is not the president of the United States, you would have the burden of proof. Those are negatives. And you would have to prove that.
Yeah, I can understand. It's not proving the null, right? It's more proving that something is either A or B, right? But what you're asking for is you're saying prove that God doesn't exist.
Yes.
That's not what atheism is, though.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Atheism, theism, God exists. Atheism, God no exists. By definition, unless you can give me the categorical difference between agnosticism and atheism.
Okay, so I already gave you the categorical difference.
So what's the categorical difference again? Atheism, you cannot know or cannot be, or you do not know or cannot be known. What's atheism?
Atheism is a lack of belief.
What's the categorical difference? You're just using a syllogism, or sorry, you're using synonyms. What is the word? Not syllogism. Synonym. A synonym. There we go. You're just using a synonym.
I would say they're close enough to probably be a synonym, but the difference is one is lack of belief and the other is not, right? Other is whether or not you can know it.
So they're the same thing. Because I don't care about your mental state. Your mental state's irrelevant to me.
Yeah, I'm saying this is the issue, right? Like when you put up this prompt, right? What you're really saying is like you're putting a position of saying that atheists. I mean, I would be hard pressed to think that I don't know any atheists in my life that make the assertion that no gods exist.
Yeah, there are lots that do that. They're entirely. Who's the guy who wrote a whole book on it? Famous atheist philosopher, Graham Oppie. Graham Oppie is one guy. There's another guy who wrote a whole book on why miracles are logically impossible, can never happen. So atheists do this all the time. What are you talking about?
No, they're talking about their lack of belief, and they're talking.
No, they're not. They're not. They're literally Hume. Sorry, it was Hume. Hume literally wrote a whole book on how God cannot exist, how it's impossible, not how he lacks a belief, how he says it's an impossibility, a logical impossibility.
All right, so I should probably walk back a little bit, saying that like there's no atheist, right? I shouldn't talk in absolutes. So I would disagree with Hume, right? He wouldn't know, but what I would say is the standard definition, if you look up, and if your listeners look up in the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Yeah, and if you look up in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, it gives a whole argument about why that's an incoherent definition. Which is what I'm arguing for right now. It's an incoherent definition. Because theism is the belief that there's a God. The antithesis to theism is atheism.
I mean, we're arguing semantics here.
Yes, we are arguing semantics. Semantics are super important because what you guys are agnostic, but just LARPing. But hold on. What you guys technically are is agnostic and just LARPing as atheists because you want to reject this idea of God, but you actually don't want to back up your position and you want to point at everybody and tell them to back up their position. But the case is you're just as rational to hold your position as you claim are the theists of holding theirs, unless you can give me a justification for it.
No, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like I'm not saying that semantics is not important, right? What I'm saying is that when you talk to an atheist, when you talk to someone who claims to be an atheist, most of the time, in my experience, we're talking about someone who lacks belief in God. And so the burden of proof is not on them to prove that God doesn't exist. Right?
Yes, it is.
I'm saying I'm not making that decision. No, you're
yes, it absolutely is. If you make a claim, the burden of proof is on you. So if you say there is no God, then there's a burden of proof. If you're just saying I lack the belief in a God, hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. If you're just saying I lack the belief in a God, then you're just saying you're agnostic.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with that, but I'm saying the standard definition of what atheism is, right, and what most atheists identify
is
as
an incoherent position.
No, is agnosticism. In your definition, right? In your definition is agnosticism.
So then atheism is incoherent.
Your definition of atheism is not an argument that I would argue for.
You keep saying my definition. You have yet to give me the categorical difference between or agnosticism and lack theism that you're bringing up outside of like a mental state. And if it's just what you believe in your own head, well, it's irrational because you need a justification for that.
Come on. It's not what I believe in my own head. You can literally look it up in the Merriam-Webster.
I'm not talking about. I'm arguing against the definition, the whole definition. I don't care what the Merriam-Webster says. I'm arguing that the Merriam-Webster's definition is incoherent. That's my argument, and you're not giving me a reason why it's not.
When you say incoherent, what do you mean incoherent?
It's irrational. It's not justified.
So a lack of belief in something is not justified?
Saying, name one. Okay, let's try this. What's another thing out there outside of God you say I lack the belief in?
Choose anything.
No, you. I don't make this claim of lack of belief. I think it's a ridiculous statement. So you're the one who's claiming it's a solid statement.
Okay, so I lack the belief in Zeus.
That's a god, you idiot, you silly goose.
I lack the belief in a demon that lives in my house.
Which would be in the same category, you silly goose.
I lack the belief that there's an apple on my desk right now.
You lack the belief that aren't you looking at your desk?
Yeah, I lack the belief.
Okay, so then you really are just a silly goose because you're saying I lack the belief that there's an apple on my desk. You can't look at your desk and tell me justifiably if there is or isn't an apple on your desk. I mean, you just proved my point, bro. God bless. Have a great day. That's insane. Moving on. That's time anyways. That's insane. Dang. What a hottie. That's insane. I lack the belief whether there's an apple on my desk. Literally looking at his desk. My goodness.
Silly goose.
Silly goose. Thank you very much, Mitzrayim. We're almost there, guys. We're almost at the dono goal. And it can't all rely on Stryker, Funky, and Mitzrayim. And Gabriel. Can't all rely on those guys. But yeah, at that point, I'm moving on in that conversation. That's time anyways. Like it literally has time for me to call it. So, but that was insane. That was insane. Next time Little John is on break, his cajones over getting cooked and clipped Tuesday night. Next time Little John is on break. What's that word?
Cojones.
Oh, next time Lil Jon is on break, his cojones over getting cooked and clipped Tuesday night. Tuesday night? Tuesday night I hosted a debate. What are you talking about? Abby walks in, Mitz donates $50. I'm still confused about the Tuesday night thing. What's going on there?
Did he go on?
I lack the belief that I just made this super chat. You lack the belief. Lacktheism is the most incoherent, nonsensical argument that literally no philosopher actually holds to. Like, again, atheist philosophers are never going to take this lacktheism position. It's just the Dillahunties of the world. Thank you for the membership. Appreciate you. I love your show. Keep it up. Jesus is King. Amen. Hallelujah. We must feed Bert the cat. Hallelujah. We absolutely must feed Bert the cat. Typical atheist can't stand his own position. You're not wrong. Lil Jon got clipped by some Muslims.
What?
Which Muslims? On Tuesday night.
I thought you played games with him last night.
Well, yeah, I didn't go last. Oh, Little John. I thought you were talking about me. I thought you were, because usually when people say Little John, they're referring to me, like mocking me. So I thought like you were mocking me. You're referring to actual Little John. I played games with him last night, and he said that he cannot wait for that clip to come out. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm appreciated to see that clip too. But I highly, highly doubt Little John got cooked. Highly doubt. He's very, very smart. Like, I don't think you guys know that, like, John knows his philosophy, bro. Like, he knows his philosophy. The problem with Little John is he's too kind. So very often he'll let people steamroll him, and he won't get his actual point across. But also, like, when we're debating solo, like when it's just me and John sitting solo debating each other, he never lets me get my point across. He like steamrolls me. Not much, but everything is appreciated in Modern Brain. If everybody chips in a little bit, it keeps the channel going. Little John walked right into it. Did we hit the goal yet? Not quite, but we're pretty close, guys. And we have other days that are more profitable, so it balances out. It's a monthly thing. This is like the average on what we have to hit a month to keep the channel going. That's all it is. And of course, we don't want to just keep it going. We want to see growth. And every once in a while, I want a steak. Once in a blue moon, I would like a steak. That'd be great. When's the last time we had steak, actually?
A while.
We should have steak soon. Maybe we should do it this weekend.
Probably not.
Why not? Oh yeah, you're going.
And then we might go.
On Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so then we would probably want to get like a pizza or something.
But wouldn't you want, like, after the tournament, a nice hunk of meat?
Maybe. If you want to cook.
Well, yeah, I usually cook the steaks. That's usually what happens. Stoic Little John was def too nice. Are we there yet? Not quite. We're about $50 short.
It's okay though.
Which is perfectly fine, because on our last, like, I think it was Friday, we went way over. So like we're definitely where we should be. Like, we're not behind by any means. And yeah, so we're pretty okay, guys. No more. Next live will be a yacht in the Bahamas. That's the goal. That's the goal, ladies and gentlemen. That is the goal. All right, folks, we'll do a quick prayer, and then we're going to hang out on YouTube for about 5-10 more minutes for some questions over there if you want to do that. So, our Father who's in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, thank you for this day and these conversations. I hope these conversations hopefully open some eyes to the truth and the reality of just how we look at things, Lord, and how we study knowledge, our epistemology. But more importantly, Lord, I ask that you open the hearts to the knowledge of who you are and the reality of what you asked, what you provided for us, and how you really are the only coherent thing that we can know. And even in our understanding of you, we only know like very, very small amounts, Lord. And I look forward to the eternity we get to spend discovering you and learning you. I think that's going to be a beautiful thing. And I ask that you help everybody be able to participate in that. Correct us if we're wrong, but correct those that come against us if they're wrong. Help us be more Christ-like. Give us opportunity to share the gospel and be generous and show the light of Christ. Help me stifle my tongue and stay on the right path with that. And Lord, just continue to walk with us. You are good. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Hallelujah. All right, guys, you know what to do. Go follow me on all platforms. What is today? Today is Wednesday. Is it? So Friday, we might have a special guest. Abby didn't answer me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so Friday, we might have a special guest. We're going to do a different topic on Friday. And then next week, I'll do some more topics of just defending Christianity, where I just say Christianity is true. Come try to disprove it. Because I've been on the attack lately. Time to go on the defense for a little bit because my game's been slipping and I need someone to push me a little bit on that topic to make sure that I stay sharp with it. If you want to support the channel, support it on Patreon. We do daily Bible studies. We also offer exclusive content over there. I do apologize for Tuesday and Monday, guys. I completely forgot to do the Bible studies. Just got caught up in life and I just slipped my mind. And that's the honest to God truth. Monday, I just had a hard day at the gym. I was not feeling good and I sat down and forgot to do it. Tuesday, we did the live debates. And by the time I realized it was really late at night and I was like, dang, or the live debate. And I completely forgot. So I'll be back to it today. That is my bad and hold me accountable to that kind of stuff. So yeah, the Bible study will be back up going for the rest of this week. Make sure that you are subscribed on my YouTube. We put out content there once or twice a week. And yeah, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you all on Friday. God bless. The silliest of silly gooses. Silliest of silly gooses. These folks, man. What I don't get is people come up, they don't have a mic connected, and I kick them. And they always keep like coming back in, like we're going to change my mind. Like, no, you've been kicked. You stay out. You stay out. I don't even know the day. Oh, you caught me. Christianity is not true because John Steele forgot what day it was. Crazy. Is
that what you asked me what day it was?
Yeah, I asked what day it was. You gave out the silliest of goose award. Now, Stryker really wants to co-host, Abby. What do you think?
Oh.
He's begging me today. He's pleading. John, please, I want to co-host, please.
I mean, it's probably the least we could do for all his free lawyer work.
Hot mic? What do you mean hot mic? Is my mic too loud? I can turn it down. I have it loud and crisp because you guys are always complaining I was too quiet. So I could turn it down.
He's lying. Who am I going to believe? My husband or you?
Exactly.
Some random on the internet.
How many children do you chokehold today during class? I could probably do like at least one. It's a few kids that I could think about choking out. Just a couple. I'm being misrepresented again. John looked miserable. I wanted to bring some laughter to his life. Just knowing you exist brings laughter to my life.
Wow. That's rude.
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
That's rude.
That's always my favorite thing when I do raids and people get angry and they start. Pictures of Spider-Man. I'm out. He's gone. That's the last we've ever seen Stryker. That's it. He's done. Stryker always catching shade. Always catching shade. I've just lost my pocket lawyer, guys. Oh, I forgot to end the live. No, we're still live on YouTube. We're just not live on TikTok.
Yeah.
You're gonna take your wallet to Fearless Truth. He's already taken everything from me. So you might as well take you as well. Might as well. Like I'm just a stepping stone in this world, guys. I'm just your introduction until you move up to bigger and better things. Like eventually you start with Big John Steele, you move to Fearless Truth. After you're done with Fearless Truth, you move up to God Logic. And after you're done with like God Logic, you got IP, all them guys, and then you're there. And then you finally and then next thing you know, you're actually reading scholarship and philosophy books. And then before you know, you're going to Richard Swinburne, and that's your only source, Richard Swinburne. Like I'm just the stepping stone, guys. Like I'm happy to just be that introduction. But yeah, eventually everybody's got to go somewhere. Everybody's got to grow. And just like that, Stryker is done. Joy, thank you for demonstrating. Oh, are me or someone else? Someone named Joy. What's the tattoo, bro? It's a microphone. Back when I thought I could rap, I got this microphone on my arm when I was young to remind myself to never quit rapping because I love music. And here I am no longer rapping. I haven't written a rap song in like so long.
That's not true.
I haven't really written a rap song.
One about me.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No.
It does.
No. You're conflating all cap locks. You must be right. Hold on. Let's read it as if they're saying it. You're conflating anti-theism to atheism. How do you call in? Atheist is, I don't know, not believing in God or gods. Anti-theist, there is no God.
That's just wrong, though.
You have to come in next time. We could talk about it.
You can yell about it.
You have to come in next time. We could talk about it. Wait, did you unironically pray in a public space? Read your Bible, fool. For when you pray, do not do it like the Gentiles. Do not blabber. Instead, go into a private room and be with your Father. Well, it's a private room. It's not a public space. You're the peeping Tom. Also, God is forgiving, and I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner. Watch. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the most public of public places. I'm going to pray, and you can't stop me. Can't stop. I'm actually going to pray for you. Watch me. What's your name? What's her name? What was her name?
I don't know.
There it was. These groves. Lord, I ask that you bless these groves and that you walk with him and draw him into the knowledge of who you are, and you give him grace and love and kindness. I just did that without your consent. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't stop me. I just did it. The biggest thing I've realized the last couple of years is that you could just do things. There's really nothing going to stop you. You could just do it. That would make me an exhibitionist. This retard thinks talking to himself is doing something. I don't know what the last word is you said. All right, children. I love you all. Every one of you. You're all my favorite kids. Say goodnight, Dad. Go on, say goodnight, Dad, and then I can leave. Go on. All right, guys. God bless.
Wow. Striker, send him a DM.
Yeah, send me a DM. We'll actually get you up, Striker. I'm just playing with you. Praying for people without their consent is awesome. I do it all the time, and they can't stop me.
And it's like,
It's so
mad about that. How dare you think nice thoughts about me?
You can't
That's
stop
what you're
me.
mad about?
I'm gonna do it. You could arrest me. I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna be in my prison cell, still praying for you. All right. God bless.